I have this right? We think she's earned like $7 million doing this?
Oh, easily. I mean, one of the transactions we highlighted in there was a $70 million transaction to the government of Sudan. That's just one transaction. Easily. I mean, one of the transactions we highlighted in there was a $70 million transaction to the government of Sudan. That's just one transaction. One of the transactions we highlighted in there was a $70 million transaction to the government of Sudan. That's just one transaction. She was involved in.
Federal prosecutors say she brokered the sales of drones, bombs, and ammunition from her Woodland Hills home, working as an agent of Iran. Today, Shamim Mafi made her first court appearance. Fox 11's Christina Gonzalez was at the hearing and joined us live from the federal courthouse in downtown L.A. Christina.
Well, she's about to make her first court appearance. We have been waiting all day. It's not even an arraignment. It's actually a bond hearing, and it has been delayed. Let's go to the video because, as you said, this woman is being blamed for trafficking arms for the Iranian government while living here in Woodland Hills. The 44-year-old was actually arrested this weekend at LAX. The complaint against her includes photos of drones and bomb fuses, tons of ammunition and cash. She is charged with brokering the sale of the items, Iran selling them to Sudan, and going through her while she's living here in Woodland Hills. She does have an extensive social media presence, became a legal resident of the U.S. back in 2016 and does face 20 years if found guilty. Now, again, we are waiting for her to appear in court for this bond hearing. It has been delayed. It's been a busy court date, but she is supposed to be there before the end of the day. One of the things, as I was reading her complaint, is fascinating because the case of selling these items, Iran to Sudan, is just one of several things they're looking at her for. At one point, it seems she actually tried to talk a U.S. company that is unnamed in the complaint, tried to convince them to sell AK-47s to Iraq through another U.S. company, and she was caught up in that. The first company at the end decided not to do it, but it seems like this woman is involved in quite a few things. Let's see if we can find out more. I'll let you know when I come back from court a little later. I'm Christina Gonzalez in downtown Los Angeles. Back to you in the studio, Christine.
All right, thank you so much, Christina. More on this. Joining us now is First Assistant U.S. Attorney Bill Asaley. Your office is prosecuting this case. Yes. How are you feeling about it?
We believe is a really strong case. We executed a search warrant late last summer when we started building this case, and we had to accelerate the case when we learned she was getting ready to leave the country. And we found out she booked that flight to Turkey. She was planning to fly out Saturday. So we moved quickly to get the information before a judge, and we got the arrest warrant signed, and we arrested her at the airport at LAX on Saturday night.
I had heard that she does go out of the country from time to time. That's not too unusual necessarily.
Right, yeah, she does travel a lot to Turkey and Oman and a couple other places. And so we just didn't want to take a chance of her leaving and not coming back. And we also don't want her to do what she's been doing from anywhere else. So we stopped it now.
So the accusation is that she sold drones, bomb fuses, ammunition destined for Sudan. Yes. Do you think that she acts with a network or alone? How's this working here?
Well, she definitely works at the direction of the government of Iran. She was their conduit. They are heavily sanctioned. They're not able to really do business like normal countries. So she was facilitating these transactions. And the primary purpose is to get money, millions and millions of dollars, to the government of Iran so to fund their activities. And so she was their broker operating outside of Iran. But there is at least one co-conspirator named, or not named, but referenced in the indictment. But we don't think there's some big, massive network that she's a part of in the United States.
And do I have this right? We think she's earned like $7 million doing this?
Oh, easily. I mean, one of the transactions we highlighted in there was a $70 million
$70 million.
Sudan. That's just one transaction. She was involved in multiples. And again, really, really bad stuff. I mean, bombs, missiles, drones, and a lot of ammunition.
Did all that make it to its destination? Is that now in Sudan or somewhere else?
Yeah, it did. We believe it did make it to Sudan. And Sudan's fighting a very violent civil war. Mm-hmm. So unfortunately, a lot of those arms were probably used against the people of Sudan.
Well, we know we're at war with Iran right now.
Focus to Sudan, where over 16,000 have been killed and over 12 million displaced in over a year of civil war. Now reports say that two countries are making this war deadlier. Iran, and the United Arab Emirates. They have reportedly been supplying drones to warring sides in Sudan. Both Iran and the UAE have been accused of violating a United Nations arms embargo. In March this year, the Sudanese army celebrated an unprecedented military advance. However, videos of the attack by the army showed that it was carried out with the help of Iranian-made drones. Now, early in the war, the RSF used quadcopter drones capable of dropping 120mm mortar shells. Weapons experts say that the UAE had supplied the same drones to its allies in other conflict areas, such as Ethiopia and Yemen. We now shift focus to Sudan, where over 16,000 have been killed and over 12 million displaced in over a year of civil war. Now reports say that two countries are making this war deadly.
Ismail Jidar met Iran's terror cells in Central Africa. December 2016. Ismail Jidar met Quds leaders at Kish Island to implement plans to expand Iran's influence within Central Africa. UN reports revealed Jidar's planned insurgent task force, the Zahra Brigade, would receive several $100,000 of funding. The brigade was tasked with attacking US and Western military installations, diplomatic personnel, and their embassies. Jidar claims he recruited some 40 rebels, who made numerous trips to Iraq, Syria, and Lebanon to undergo training in terrorist techniques at Iranian Revolutionary Guards and Hezbollah-controlled bases. The ultimate objective was to create a 300-strong force to operate principally in Chad and Sudan regions. This fits with Iran's continuing strategy of training, equipping, and supporting proxy forces with the intent of creating instability and increasing influence on weakened governments. For the Iranian regime, looking to broaden its influence into African states, Jidar was the ideal candidate. He had a long track record as a sharp operator. He was a known fixer. His contacts included mercenaries, insurgents, arms smugglers, and warlords of the border regions of Chad, Sudan, and the Central African Republic, CAR. Jidar worked closely with Michel Djotodia, the CAR consul in Darfur in Sudan, when they first met. In 2008, Djotodia was active back in the CAR, forming Seleka, a group of Muslim rebels. In 2013, Djotodia led a coup against the CAR Christian majority and became CAR's first Muslim ruler. This lasted 10 months before Djotodia was deposed. Jidar was arrested in Chad during 2019 and claims he was only acting on Djotodia's orders. A UN report says, while the panel evidenced the close connection between Michel Djotodia and Ismail Jidar, it is unable at the present stage to confirm Michel Djotodia's involvement in the plan as detailed by Jidar. Iran also denies the allegations, saying that it neither interfered in the internal affairs of any country nor supported any violent act.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have just been introduced to something that you probably had no idea was actually going on. All you need to do, I don't know what the heck's going on with this. Hold on 1 second. Don't go anywhere. Okay, we should be back. We should be back. Oh my God. Okay. Well, while we're waiting to get the image clear, I don't want you guys having to look at a choppy, messed up image. We're troubleshooting it. Earlier show was good. Now this show is acting up. Okay. Now, okay. So, all right. So if we look at the headlines, like the ones you just watched, you see that a woman, Shami Mafi, an Iranian national and a U.S. resident, was just intercepted at LAX. I live in LA. She wasn't carrying souvenirs. She was allegedly brokering a $70 million deal to send Iranian drones, bombs, and ammunition to Sudan. While some are distracted, Iran is playing a deadly game of divide and conquer on the African continent. They aren't just arming the SAF. They're mounting reports that they are fueling both sides. So you got to understand that the RSF is a Muslim faction and the SAF is a Muslim faction. So it is believed that Iran is actually fueling both sides. It's believed that the UAE is fueling both sides, because what we know is if either side wins, Islamists gain a foothold in another African country. We got to be clear about who the SAF represents. For decades, they've enforced a system of, well, okay, so a lot of people think the RSF is the bad guys, and they are bad. And some people think that the SAF is bad. And I'm going to tell you today, from my research, I believe that both groups are bad. The RSF is accused of literally performing genocide against non-Arab citizens of Sudan, the tribesmen, the dark-skinned folks. And the SAF, the group that was ruling the country for a very long time, they presided over a decades-long apartheid in the country of Sudan, marginalizing and ethnically cleansing indigenous Black Africans in Darfur and the Nuba Mountains. They've used hunger as a weapon and grape as a tool of war against Black people. Yet we see a disturbing trend. Black folks, Black voices globally, praising and celebrating Iran as being this anti-imperialist hero. They oppose AFRICOM, anything to do with the United States or the West. Oh, they're bad. In the name of sovereignty for African nations, but cheer an Iranian regime that literally exports destabilization to your ancestral home. Iran's fingerprints are on every radical group tearing through Africa, from the Al-Bara bin Malik Brigade to the proxies that they are fueling in the Sahel. We get biblical wisdom on this in the book of Proverbs 26, verse 28. A lying tongue hates those it hurts, and a flattering mouth works ruin. Iran continues to flatter the Black community with anti-Western rhetoric. Oh, we'll let the the black hostages go, but we keeping the white ones, right? But their actions are literally ruining African nations. As Maya Angelou once said, when someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. Everywhere Iran's influence spreads, Lebanon, Yemen, Syria, the Sahel, Sudan, Chad, it is followed by a trail of violence, terrorism, and stagnation. I got one question for you. Is that the type of liberation that black folks are fighting for? To walk out of the frying pan into the fire? You say the white man is on your back and he's oppressing you. So you want to get from up under that, right? So then you could be up under the oppression of Iran, living in constant fear as they fund terrorist proxies who force you into subjugation through acts of terror. It's almost like we're rooting for our own colonization, just under a different flag. When are you going to learn to stand up for American values? Values that you actually fought for. Because you know black folks have fought in every war in American history, literally. Every day we scream, we built this country, pay us reparations. But then we get on the internet and we're seemingly rooting for anybody who we think is going to tear down the country. Or better yet, or worse yet, we're rooting for people, praising them as heroes, who are, while we're praising them, systematically destabilizing the African continent. You know, it's black folks that live over there, just in case you didn't know. We have to learn to stand up for American values: liberty, security, truth, justice. If you say we don't exhibit those values, then maybe you should look in the mirror because you're an American. America right now is the only force capable of checking Iran's expansion and ensuring the sovereignty of African nations. Like, tell me something. When Iran defeats the great Satan, when Iran puts America in its place, and then Iran goes about its business of supplying weapons to African terrorists and destabilizing African countries, what you gonna do then? What you gonna do then? You know what you gonna do? You gonna cry and complain, oh my God, woe is me, somebody needs to come save me. Even though just a short while ago you were praising Iran as your savior and your hero. It's really sick what we do. Even now, you got Noble King E. What do we fund? We don't fund terrorism in Sudan. We don't fund terrorism in Chad or the Sahel. You could say we do as much as you want to, but that we don't. Iran's doing that, because if we were doing it, Iran would have blasted us out by now. But they're doing it, so they know we're not doing it. My question to you is, what does throwing out stupid questions that you already know the answer to do for you? How does that move you forward? What we know for a fact is that a woman was busted in LAX who literally was brokering a $70 million deal to send drones, missiles, bombs, and everything else to an African nation that will be used to continue genocide against black people that live there. That's what we know for a fact. I'm not spewing. Hey, look, I've been to Africa many times. One thing I'll tell you about African people, they live in denial. Many of them live in denial, bro. They move to the West, and then they pretend like what's happening in Africa doesn't happen. Isn't happening. That's why I own more land in Africa than most Africans. Because they leave, they go to Germany, they go to Europe, they go to America, and then they pretend like nothing is going on bad in the country that they came from. But we all know that that's just untrue. I got Nigerians in this little group I'm in praising the hell out of Iran. Whole time Iran is sending money to Nigerian Islamic terrorists who are kidnapping people and killing people all over the north of Nigeria. It's self-destruction. You know, there's a lot of us who we want to deny this idea that Africans sold other Africans into slavery, and why would they do that? But when I look at the attitude of people like this Omidowu, I understand exactly how that happens. Because African people have a high capacity for cognitive dissonance. They want you to believe they love Africa and they want to build and make Africa great, but they run away from Africa to the West, and then they and then they cheer on people who do things purposely to destabilize Africa. Iran has a playbook. They know exactly what they're doing. Let me ask you a question. How much humanitarian aid does Iran give Africa? $0. Yet they can find money to put more bombs, missiles, and drones in Africa. Even if you say the United States does something to destabilize Africa, you could count on your hand, there's actual physical numbers of the amounts of money that the United States gives in aid to Africa every year. The leader of Burkina Faso, Abraham Traore, just signed a health deal with the United States of America worth billions of dollars. He also just took loans from the IMF. That's the West. Why didn't he get a loan from Iran? Why didn't he sign a health deal with Iran? Because they don't even want Traore in charge. They want the people they put in charge. Radical Islamists. That's who they want in charge. People who will join them in their fight to destroy the West and destroy Israel and destroy America. This is real. This is real. And look, I'm gonna do the best thing you could do. If what they say in the comments is true, y'all, I'm putting a link right in the comments for them to come up and explain it to us. If what we say is wrong, come up and correct us, Mr. Nigerian. Because one thing I love, what I notice about a lot of continental Africans, they're always trying to correct you, but they never can come up and stand on it. That's why you don't see many Africans running for president or nothing in the United States. Indians been here, Africans been coming over here way less than Indians. I mean, way more than Indians, right? You see presidential election, it's 2-3 Indians on stage, literally explaining and breaking down to you why they believe what they offer is better than what everyone else is offering. How many Africans you see on stage running for president, other than African Americans, obviously? None. As much as I am an African, I'm telling you right now, continental Africans are masters of theoretical bullshit. Oh, I'm an engineer, but don't build no buildings. Oh, I'm a doctor, but working as a doctor at Kaiser underneath a white man. Don't got his own practice. Oh, I'm a lawyer, but working up under the government as a public defender or a prosecutor up under the city, the county, or the state, or the federal government. The kings of theoretical bullshit. But paupers when it comes to applicable information, things that you learn that you can apply to your life and improve your life. I'm telling you that right now. I ain't no FBA, I ain't no Tariq Nasheed, none of that, but I'm telling you the truth. In order to solve a problem, you have to first recognize that you have a problem. And every day I get up here and I point out the problems that my particular ethnic group, Black Americans, African Americans, has. But that don't mean that I don't know what other Black groups are dealing with. You have Africans cheering Iran while Iran pumps millions and millions and millions of dollars worth of weapons into African countries to destabilize them. I go to Kenya all the time. I own land there. You know who's funding Al-Shabaab? You know who's funding who's giving money to these Somali terrorists? Iran. That's who's giving them weapons and money. And you know who came in and helped Kenya with its counterterrorism measures that made Kenya safe again and allowed Kenya to become one of the greatest or the most popular tourist destinations on earth. Do you notice all these Black Americans moving to Kenya? You know why Kenya is safe and it's possible for Black Americans to move to Kenya, and white folks and Asians? That's because AFRICOM, America, baby. They got a base right up in that hole. And they about to build another base right on the coast of Kenya in the Indian Ocean. See, but the African haters, the haters living abroad who don't even want to go back to their own country. Oh, I'm Nigerian, but I ain't been in Nigeria in 40 years, head ass motherfuckers. They got every criticism of the West, but won't leave. They got every criticism of the West, but give up they left for them to get there. How many Africans migrate to Iran every year? You can't even count it on you can't even count them on 2 fingers, 2 hands. You can't even count them on 1 hand because there ain't none. How many Africans migrate to China, the other country who they love, whose ass they love to kiss? How many Africans migrate to China every year? When COVID struck, China kicked all y'all ass up out of there. Bye, gotta go. And never let you back in. But y'all steady kissing their ass. There's a lack of gratitude and there's a lack of common sense and rational thinking that I feel really needs to be addressed. Everyone who does not appreciate what America has to offer and what America gives them, in my opinion, needs to be cut off. Straight up. Everybody who cheers the entity that is destroying their homeland needs to be sent there to live amongst the destruction that they're celebrating. If you celebrate Iran, as Iran destroys your homeland, you need to go back to your homeland or you need to go back to Iran so you can live and experience how great it is to live under the destruction and chaos that you cheer for. Because when those girls in those little Christian schools are being kidnapped by Islamic Iran-funded terrorist groups, I don't think they think that's very fun or funny. You laid up with your white woman, because you know most of them, they love laying up with white folks. You lay up with your white woman and cheer on Iran as they destroy the lives of people in your homeland. Now, Africa is my ethnic homeland. And I won't even do that when it's just my ethnic homeland. You guys were born there and still engage in absolute stupidity because you feel like doing that is you fighting back against America. You can't fight against America. You're in no position to even think about challenging America. The only thing you should be doing, as far as America is concerned, is asking, in what way can I be of service to you? Because if it wasn't for America, a lot of y'all would be dead right now. Or a lot of y'all might not have never even been born. The way y'all like to let dictators and shit overrun your country. You ever seen Tears of the Sun? Who said that? Prince, motherfucker. Was it his own people rallying to fight against the general and the insurgents and rebels that took over the country? Hell no, it was Americans. We do the dirty work because y'all are too afraid to do it. Most of the armies in Africa, if they rarely got in a conflict, they've run away. This is a fact. It's been witnessed and observed. And I'm not saying it to put them down. I'm saying it so that we can have a realistic understanding of what's going on right here. Yeah, America is as great as I think it is. What's greater, Ralph? What's greater, Ralph? Tell me what's greater. America's not as great as you think it is. Okay, tell me what's greater. America's not as tough as you think. Yeah, but America just bitched up every country on the planet because ain't nobody going through the Strait of Hormuz until we say so. Blockade, bitch. You can say whatever you want to, but the facts do not agree with you. You live in a world of make-believe where because a hooker says she loves you, you believe it's true. And that's what we deal with. Our people are we are the number one customers or the number one practicers of escapism. We don't just engage in it. We practice it. We have perfected it. Every day, most of us wake up, we go to work, get some money, and then once we clock out, we're figuring out a way to escape from the reality that is life. And we dwell there. Wait until they create those fully immersive, like escape chambers where you just go in and it's like holograms, but it feels real. Black people gonna be the number one customers in that. Why y'all think we smoke so much weed and use so much dope? Because we want to escape our lives, our reality. It pains us. And then so we entertain ideas that we know are not true. I'm still waiting on Ralph to tell me what place is greater than America. And I'll keep waiting, Ralph. It ain't Ralph, though, in the words of Kanye. We just say shit because that makes us feel better. Bro can't tell you what. I've been all over the damn world, all over this bit. I ain't found no country better than America yet. Closest country I think is Kenya. And they got a lot of work to do. And I spend a lot of time over there. No, many do and many don't. But the ones who do, you can kind of tell when you get on this internet. But the whole point is, we got one person saying America is not as great as I think it is, but can't tell me nowhere better. We got Noble K6G. He didn't have the link for I don't know how long. If you got something to say, come on up and say it. Because all the spamming in the chat, it ain't doing nothing. The fact that you can't come up and defend your position proves that I'm right and you're a liar. Straight up, across the board. Here's the worst part. Everyone under the sound of my voice knows that what I'm saying is true. Everyone under the sound of my voice knows that what I'm saying is true. This is the separation. There are those who will hear the truth and they will go forward and operate in truth. And there are those who will hear the truth and they will reject the truth and go forward and operate based on lies. There are those who will take the narrow road of truth that's a little bit uncomfortable and work to make things the way they want it to be. And then there's those who will take the wide road of lies and destruction. And you know that where that's going. I'm up here talking about it, standing on it. I just gave you as much proof as you really should need. Because if Iran say bullshit, y'all believe it. Y'all don't need no proof. Y'all don't need no proof. We're in control of the Strait of Hormuz, but we can't get out of that bitch. Think about that. Just listen to that. Iran said, we are shutting down the Strait of Hormuz. We are in control of the Strait of Hormuz, but can't look, that's like me saying, I'm in control of my driveway that's sit next to my house, but I can't leave that motherfucker. How am I in control of it if I can't leave it? I'm in control of the street that I live on, but I can't drive off the block. How am I in control? Clearly, someone else is in control. The United States can come and go as they please. They put destroyers through there and everything else. I got a cousin who's in the Persian Gulf right now. They running destroyers through the Strait of Hormuz every single day. Iran is doing nothing. But black folks will literally convince themselves that, man, Iran is in control of the Strait of Hormuz. They're not. They're not. You know who's in control of who is in control of the strait? America. Because America's controlling who come in that thing and who go out. Russia can't do nothing about it. China can't do nothing about it. And damn sure black folks in Iran can't do nothing about it. Costa, what up, my G?
What's up, B? How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm trying to understand how black folks is up in this thing and they are actively engaged in cognitive dissonance where they've convinced themselves that Iran is their friend and they should root for Iran, while Iran is every single day sending weapons into Africa, literally destabilizing African countries. Make that make sense to me, my brother. How does that work?
Yeah, it's like, it's kind of similar to how you can get black people in America to vote against their own best interest. So it's like,
Say that again. Say that one more time.
It's similar to how you can get black people in America to vote against their own best interests.
Costa, can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me? Hello?
He fell off somehow. I don't know how he fell off, but he fell off. Come back, bro. I put the link back in the... Okay, here you go. Yo. Okay, you in?
I believe so. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you loud and clear.
Yeah. What I was saying was it's kind of similar to how you can get black people in America to vote against their own best interest.
Okay. Yeah, facts, 100%. It's very similar to that. It's very similar to that. Literally, we'll vote. Like one of the things I noticed, black folks are acting a fool and go crazy over illegal immigrants for them to stay in the country. Then the same black people will complain when the illegal immigrants gang up on them at the job and get them fired.
Or when the illegal immigrants is out gangbanging and they nail one of their friends. You know, like
What? Yeah.
because they do, and a lot of them are doing a lot of criminality. So, you know, yeah, it's crazy. I remember back in 2018, it was some people trying to push that Rainbow Coalition. We need to look out for all black and brown, and it was almost like a precursor. Yeah, so it's like black people, we the same all over the planet. So I find it funny when people like the FBA types, you know, try to distinguish us. Like we react the same to oppression everywhere.
No, 100%. 100%. We literally we become complicit in our own oppression because we just don't want to, we can't handle the truth. I can handle the truth. You tell me the truth, I say, okay, that's true. Let me operate based on truth. Let's move forward. Here's the facts. Iran is funding terrorist groups in Africa. They want to destabilize African countries so that they can spread their influence in Africa. One of the videos I played in the beginning of the stream, the video was from 6 years ago. So this was when Trump wasn't even in office. This when Biden was elected. There's many videos reporting how Iran is funding terrorist proxy groups in Africa, the same way they fund the terrorist proxy group Hezbollah in Lebanon, the same way they fund the terrorist proxy group Hamas in Gaza Strip in Israel, right? This is what they do. This is what they do. And we know why they do it, because that is how they spread their influence and control those nations without having to, go in and outright take the nation over. And if you wonder why a lot of the African nations do the dumb shit that they do, a lot of that is because they're being coerced by radical Islamic extremists that are backed by the Iranian government. Now, I lay it at your feet as black people, and then I ask you, what are you going to do about it? The first thing you could do is stop cheering Iran like they're some type of hero. Like if they take over the world, you're going to benefit from that. But Brandon, they let go 12 black people when they took the hostages in 1980. Yeah, because they knew black folks is weak and wasn't a threat. No one's going to release someone they think is a threat. Am I wrong, Costa?
No, you're not wrong at all.
If you got a motherfucker in a chokehold and if you let him go, he probably going to turn around and whoop your ass, you're not going to let him go. You let people go when you feel like they can't do shit to you. And that's why they let the blacks go.
I don't understand how they take that as, oh yeah, they for black people, when Muslims have enslaved black people longer than Europeans. They taught Europeans how to do so. So
there's this fool Ralph in the comments. He says, "Oh, you the type of nigga that think that slavery ended." No, I don't, because I know Muslims is still enslaving niggas right in Libya today.
Mauritania, Libya,
all over North Africa, right? And look, and in the Middle East, Qatar and all that.
Facts.
All that. But look, you the type of nigga that know that Muslims is still enslaving black people all over the Middle East and North Africa, but cheer a Muslim dictatorship that funds terrorism in Africa. So who's the real nigga? Who's the real nigga?
He the type of nigga who will know what Islam has done to Africa and is doing, and will flip Christian and become Islamic like he doing something different.
Right.
He that kind of nigga. You know how niggas go to prison and they come out Muslim?
Nah, 100%. 100%. Go to prison, get scared because they don't want to get their ass whooped, so they join up Muslim for protection. then get out, pray on the mat for like 6 days, and then they back to drinking and smoking and eating pork again.
Man, they be doing it the same night right here in
Same
O-Block.
night.
You got niggas in O-Block praying on that mat. They don't even know which way Mecca is. How you supposed to face Mecca?
Where the
you
east
ain't got
side
no
at?
clue.
Which way is east, nigga? I'm standing on the east side. I'm standing on the south side.
Boy, I'm over
East
east,
must be
nigga.
that
I'm
way.
already over east.
Right. All I gotta do is drop it like it's home.
Yeah,
But it's real though.
Yeah, this is
real.
the kind of intellectual thinking that goes on in the Black community. This is why we in the situation that we in, bruh.
Real talk. We are in denial about the reality of the world we live in. And what did Malcolm X say? He was like, these people are how you, or was it John Henry Clark? I forget which one of them said it, but one of our ancestors said, man, these people are how you so confused, you'll be celebrating your oppressor as a hero. And ain't that what they doing?
Yep.
Iran, yeah, they showed the United States did it the whole time. Iran destabilizing the country where you was born at, making your mama and your aunties and everybody who's still there unsafe. While America is deeply embedded in Kenya, and Kenya is 1,000 times safer than Nigeria, 1,000 times safer than Chad, 1,000 times safer than Burkina Faso, 1,000 times safer than any majority Muslim country in Africa.
Maybe when you think about Senegal's pretty safe. Like
that ain't nowhere near safer than Kenya.
Yeah.
Nowhere near. Nowhere near.
But other than that, it's pretty clear. It's
you
like
can go listen
and all
in Kenya, you can drive around the whole country and you don't got to worry about getting abducted by terrorists or slaughtered. They used to have a problem back in Lamu at the border between Kenya and Somalia. Kenyan army all up and through that whole whooping feet. Them Somalians don't dare cross that border with Kenya no more. They don't even dare come into the Kenyan waters no more. Who can tell me? Who can prove that I'm lying? None of y'all.
They don't push, these radical Islamic terrorists who are funded by Iran. They've pushed as far as to like Mozambique. They be raising hell out there as well. So it's like they trying to create like a Muslim state in Africa. It seems like that's what.
That's what they're doing. They're not trying to do it.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the Africans is too dumb to realize, hey, they're trying to come in. They're trying to do to you what the Hispanics are trying to do to us in America. Let's just get a bunch of us over here, and then we fund the terrorists, act like we don't, and then the terrorists is holding the government hostage. That's what's going on. Yeah, Michael O, prove it. Iran is a major sponsor of terrorism in Africa. We could prove that. And so is the USA. Michael O, come up, prove it. I'll look up whatever you want me to look up. I will look up whatever you want me to look up.
What are the groups that they say in America? What are the groups that America are sponsoring in Africa, for terrorism?
Look, here's the thing. We are at war. We're in a conflict with Iran right now, bro, right? And what countries do is they have this propaganda message, right? If you're doing anything wrong, they're going to start blasting you for whatever you're doing wrong. Iran blasted the United States for slavery. Iran blasted the United States for dropping the bomb, the atom bomb on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, right? Iran blasted the United States for segregation and Jim Crow, right? They blast the United States on everything. Do you think if the United States was sponsoring terrorism in Africa, right? Do you not think Iran would be blasting them on that? Right. Y'all funding terrorism right here in this place. Now, the one concession I will make is we are responsible for the destabilization in Libya. But I also believe that they were doing slave trade in Libya before Gaddafi.
They were, Brandon.
He was just hiding it.
Brandon, I have this issue with content, and I agree with what you said about Continental Africans earlier. I have this issue with them all the time. Do not put Gaddafi in a sentence with Thomas Sankara. Don't put him in a sentence with our heroes and our freedom fighters, because slavery was happening under Gaddafi and he was sweeping it under the rug. You know, the propagandist he is. His whole little shit, everything was all about propaganda with dude.
So let me read this lie. So Michael O2, it's not propaganda. The U.S. has been sponsoring Boko Haram in Nigeria through USAID, right? The USAID money go to the government, into NGOs. And those NGOs and the Nigerian government that y'all too dumb to realize is sponsoring the terrorists, the government is run by Muslims. The government refuses to do anything about the Islamic terrorist radicals.
They will not, but they can. But they can foil coups in sovereign countries right next to them in Benin.
Right.
Okay, yeah, but yeah, got it.
Now, I love Michael O2, right? I love Michael O2, but he's not just using his full brain. Because Nigerians are very intelligent, but he's not using that Nigerian brain to think in reality.
Yeah.
United States sends money to governments, and the governments distribute the money to the NGOs. So is the United States directly saying, here, Boko Haram, here goes a check for $50 billion? Or are they giving the money to the government, and then the government get the money to an NGO, the Muslim government run by a Muslim, Tinubu, and a Muslim before him, and a Muslim before him? Are they giving Boko Haram the money? Why y'all dumb thinking that y'all can have a Muslim leader, but he don't support the Muslim radicalist groups that he refuses to fight against? Nigeria has jets, bro. Nigeria has fighter jets
that they use to foil Benin's coup.
Yes,
but they can't do anything about Boko Haram, who are using suicide children, kids as suicide bombers, and terrorizing northern Nigeria for over a decade now.
Listen. They have jets that can fly at supersonic speeds, I believe, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they have never. Ask the last time the Nigeria used they advanced fighter jets to go drop bombs on the terrorist groups in the north that's slaughtering Christians all over the north of Nigeria. They don't use it. But like you said, when there was a coup in Niger, right? They had no problem flying.
No, it was in Benin. It was in Benin.
In Benin. They had no problem flying those jets to Benin to put down the coup in a matter of seconds. They said, look,
listen, northern Nigeria is closer than Benin is. So I don't understand how you can get to Benin and effectively stop that. But you can't stop the 30. Okay, they say it's about 30,000 people who's supposed to be at a Boko Haram encampment or whatnot, or they're 30,000 strong. That's what they're saying. But they've been given that number for why you can't just bomb them,
bro? They know exactly where they are.
Mm-hmm.
They know exactly where they are. They know exactly who leads them. They're all Muslims. The government of Nigeria and the terrorists are Muslims.
Well, when I'm sorry to cut you off, bro.
No, you good. You good. No, you good.
When America went and bombed those radical Islamics on Christmas, Nigeria was thirsty to jump up and say, "Hey, we provided the intelligence. We showed y'all where them niggas was at. So if y'all knew where they was at, why y'all couldn't do nothing with them? Oh, you didn't want to do anything with them because they're your brothers. They're Muslim like you. And you have a rehabilitation program for all of them, just in case they want to come back into society and be legitimate."
Yeah, a retraining program. Hey, fool, next time don't get caught. Come over here and act like you retrain, then go back out there. That's what is going on. And Nigerians know this, bro.
Yep.
But they'll be in denial. And the ones in the most denial are the ones who live in the West. They come get them a nice, big, fat, gelatinous white woman. And they act like this shit don't exist. It ain't really happening. You lying, Brandon. Why you making me feel bad? Listen, I'm gonna tell you something. Black folks are the same all over. If you think you black and you different from another group of black folks, you are gravely mistaken, my friend. You are gravely mistaken. Black folks live in cognitive dissonance all over. Michael O., you can say what you want to, but unless you getting up here to come prove us wrong, your words don't mean anything unless you put a super chat behind them, because you ain't proving nothing. But I'm going to show you. Nigeria has this type of military power and can't defeat 30,000 terrorists. Nigeria got this type of military power but can't wipe the Islamic terrorists out of the whole Sahel. If they wanted to, they could. They don't want to, because them is they homies. That is how they dominate. That's how they dominate. That's how they say, hey, if you vote for a Christian leader, if you vote for a non-Muslim leader, yeah, them boys gonna come making house calls.
That's why Nigeria is in a state of sin, because all the Muslim leaders enable them.
These are Nigerian.
Welcome to Inside Africa. Today, we're looking at Nigeria's growing defense industry, how the country is building its own weapons, vehicles, and aircraft, while also partnering with other nations to stay ahead of security threats.
Fam, they got airships. They got combat helicopters. They have jets with missiles. Okay, understand that. And you telling me they can't beat down Boko Haram?
Nigeria has been investing in local production through the Defense Industries Corporation. These rockets, together with locally built rocket pods and gun pods, are fitted on aircraft to support ground troops, reducing dependence on foreign suppliers. One of the most exciting projects is Nigeria's first locally built helicopter.
Inventors and manufacturers drawn from academia and private sectors to promote local manufacturing, innovation, and the adoption of made in Nigeria products. Government officials, industry leaders, and innovators were also in attendance, discussing policies that will drive Nigeria's industrial and technological growth. Please, I want to give a round of applause for this.
Developed by Nassini and the Air Force Institute of Technology, this helicopter is now complete and undergoing certification before its first flight. This project will train Nigerian engineers in aircraft production and maintenance, skills needed for future independence. Nigeria is also making progress in drone technology. The locally developed Tsaigumi UAV is already being used for surveillance and intelligence missions. There are also ongoing projects to design and build combat drones, which will allow the country to carry out precision strikes without risking pilots. Nigeria now produces general-purpose bombs for its air force, along with air-to-ground rockets.
Yeah, they got every weapon they need to wipe out terrorism in Nigeria and the whole Sahel.
They do, bro. It's crazy how they foiled the coup in Benin, and I hate them for it, because I really wanted to see what AES could do with access to the
Look at this. This the problem right here. You know who that is? You know who that is? That's the Nigerian president. That's the only problem you got right there.
Mr. CIA drug dealer out here in Chicago, where he used to sell bricks. But now you're president of Nigeria.
Right. Used to sell bricks. Look. That's the problem. We got all this firepower, right? We got all this firepower, but we're helpless against a bunch of Arab terrorists. Most of them don't even have AKs. They got regular bolt action rifles, but you can't even do nothing against them. They're too powerful. They're too strong. You don't understand. Their machetes are sharp. You got a whole plane with an airship behind it. And everybody knows how you deal with that. You march your army in, and when the terrorists come out to engage with your army, you fly behind them, and then you come and blow the shit out of them with missiles. Easy work. Easy work. I ain't saying no damn allegedly. That's what's happening.
But Brandon, wait, the terrain is difficult, and it's a lot of mosquitoes out there. We don't want to get malaria, because I ain't had my shots this season, so we just gonna leave them alone.
100%. Because I'm telling you, I'm telling you, I'm fucking Jennifer Hudson right now. Make it make sense. As smart as these big brain Nigerians are, how y'all don't understand that there's a conflict of interest at the highest level in your country? How are little girls getting kidnapped from churches when y'all got missiles, planes, airships, helicopters, surface to air, air to surface missiles? Shit, I'm sure they got a couple tanks in that hole.
Mm-hmm.
Tinubu was a CIA agent.
A bunch of other aircraft from Turkey,
Right?
Recently. So
right.
Yeah, Nigeria, yeah, come on, man. They call themselves the giant of Africa, and that's what they trying to be.
Look at this. Look at this bullshit. The military isn't ready. This technology is new to them. Once you can get that bitch off the ground, you're ready.
Yeah.
Once you get, bro, their job is to train, bro. Their job is to train. Look. I do Brazilian jiu-jitsu, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can't go sit up in the jiu-jitsu class for a year and then my coach say, hey, do a white belt tournament. And I'm not ready. Well, what the hell you been doing all year? Their job is to learn those weapon systems.
You train to get ready, bro.
You train every day, 12 hours.
That's kind of why you train and dedicate your.
No, but wait. They're not ready. Didn't they just Didn't they just foil a coup in Benin?
Wait. No, Brandon. They weren't ready to do that, bro. It was God. God helped them foil that coup in Benin.
Yeah, they can beat up on people in another country with the planes and the helicopters and the ship and the rockets, right? But they're not ready to beat up the terrorists in their own country. Brandon, out y'all fucking mind.
Can you imagine an insurgent group in America of the equivalence of a Boko Haram?
No, never. It couldn't happen.
It could never happen.
The army would be there in 10 minutes.
The Army, Navy, Marines, every militia.
Bro, they wouldn't even need that. They'll send the National Guard in the Coast Guard to fuck them niggas up. Straight up.
What Nigeria could have did a long time ago. But there is a reason why Nigeria's presidents are always Muslim.
Exactly.
So it's just a big game.
In a country, I think that's majority. Isn't Nigeria a majority Christian nation?
I mean, it shouldn't be Christian either, but it might be. It might be. The Igbos are a significant number. No, I think the Hausas dominate, bro. I think Nigeria is mostly Hausa, and they're mostly Muslim. So it might be mostly Muslim.
Oh, look, it's evenly split between Christians and Muslims.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
Here's the thing, but it's always a Muslim president. Because why? Oh, because all the Christians are voting for Muslim. No, they're not. No, they're not.
It's the corruption.
No, they're not. Like, bro, if you believe that, no, exactly. Michael was telling you, Nigeria is not mostly Hausa.
Oh, I thought Hausa was the most dominant tribe in Nigeria.
They're
okay. What tribe has?
Let me tell you how this works. I think the biggest is the Yoruba.
No, bro, it's definitely Hausa, bro.
No.
I could be wrong. You're right. I think so.
I think it's the Yoruba.
Okay.
Oh no, the Hausa. You're right. I'm wrong.
Okay.
The Hausas are generally considered the largest ethnic group in Nigeria, comprising approximately 25% to 30% of the population. Often grouped with the Fulanis as Hausa Fulani for political purposes.
That's the trick bag there. That's the trick bag there.
I have Fulani DNA.
People I look Fulani.
Yeah, they are predominantly located in northern Nigeria and are known for practicing Islam. Here's what I'm telling you: Yoruba is mostly in the southwest and makes up 21% of the population, so they're very close. And then Igbo is 18%. But if you add both of them groups up, they make up more than Hausa, right?
Gotcha.
Right, and then it's just a lot.
But wait. There are some Yorubas that are actually Muslim too. So all Yorubas aren't Christian.
100%. 100%. A lot of them are. And there's even some Igbos, I think, who might be Muslim. I'm not sure. But here's the thing. This is what I'm saying. Hausa Fulani are the least educated group in the country.
Fact.
They don't really excel in business or nothing else, right?
They just got large numbers.
Igbos are highly intelligent. Yorubas, highly intelligent. How is that group that's the least educated sticking more to religious fundamentalism than pursuing education? How are they constantly in control of the country? Through violence. Through violence. And guess what? Once you got the president in your pocket, no one's going to stop the violence. You know how many Nigerians don't even vote because for fear of reprisal? Let you be in the North and be a Christian, and they find out you voted against the House of Chief, the House of President. You're dead. You're dead. Right? Understand that. Michael O, we know already. We just don't understand why you Nigerian and know so much, but you ain't in Nigeria. That's the only thing we trying to figure out. You should just move to Kenya, somewhere that's safe, where the president isn't in collusion with Muslim terrorists. And let me tell you something. Any country where the president isn't colluding with the terrorist groups, the country is successful and prosperous. Any country in Africa. That's the problem with West Africa. West African leaders have been corrupted. They're Islamic, they're Muslims, and they're in cahoots. I even think Ibrahim Traore is in cahoots with those Muslim terrorists over there. Muslims stick together, bro. They're all Sunni Muslims. Right? You ain't lying. We left billions in Iraq. Or no, we left billions in Afghanistan. Stop. Yeah, so Nigeria got all that tech. You know, they whooping feet, but can't seem to deal with 30,000 terrorists fighting with machetes and slingshots. Make it make sense, but they're gonna tell everybody else what they need to be doing. But they're cheering Iran. Iran, yeah. You getting whooped out by Muslims in your own country, eliminated, but you're cheering for the Muslim country that funds these proxies. It's just the self-destructive nature of our people is just, it's ridiculous, man. Michael, don't try to come over to our side now. You was just twerking for Iran the other day. No, I'm just kidding. He been riding with us against Iran. As a black man, I'm telling you, I'll never support. Hey, can you scratch my back real quick? As a black man, my back is itchy. I think it's the detergent.
Hey, as a black man, I will never support Muslims. I'm sorry to sound prejudiced, but
I feel you.
You got to understand, Islam came to Africa
through slavery,
and
oppression,
violence. Oppression. And it's still there to this. And they, I think they actually taught the Europeans how to enslave Africans as well. But the Europeans were better businessmen with their products. The Arabs would get us, Africans, and they would castrate us so we couldn't even reproduce.
No, 100%. They was chopping that thing off, bro.
So it's like they so much more savage. They didn't keep no records. At least the Europeans kept records.
At least the white man let you get married and have a family.
Right.
95% of slave children grew up with their mama and their daddy in the house. At least they let you have children and raise. Look, you would even let a pig have babies and let the pig raise the babies up to become hogs and then slaughter them then, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Arab wouldn't even give you a luxury they would afford to their damn camels to be able to have offspring, raise those offspring to adulthood, and then the offspring got to go off on their own and get sold away. The white man at least gave you that luxury. And he would give you food to feed your chillins, the little nigglets. He'll give you food to feed them until they grew up.
Thanks.
The Arab was like, no, we're going to castrate you. And then, mind you, most people, when they get castrated, they die.
Yeah.
So the Arab was like, I'm going to risk killing you. That's how much I don't want you to become a part of my society. And they forbade you to marry. You can't even marry another slave. At least the white man let you jump the broom.
And they didn't allow Africans to basically they didn't treat them like humans until Africans agreed to enslave other Africans who were not Arab or who were not Muslim. So they used it. It's almost like they used that stuff to brainwash us so we could attack us. Like you see these dudes from RSF who were doing all that terror out there in Sudan.
Yeah, they're doing
These
genocide,
niggas, bro. These was niggas with Jerry curls, and I bet you they swear up and down that they not black, bro.
right? And then the SAF, who Iran is funding the SAF, right? But I believe
they're funding RSF as well.
I believe they're funding both sides because whichever side win, they win. Now there's another group called like the SAMLA, whatever. That's the niggas though, and they're kind of like fighting against both groups, but then they got so many factions, so it's getting kind of muddy, right? But here's my thing: SAF, right? They were ruling the country for a long time. They're also Arabs. They were engaged in an Arab-African apartheid. They did exactly what the white man did in South Africa to the blacks in Sudan. Do you understand? They did the exact same thing. Right? Do y'all hear that? Is that you?
You talking about me?
No, I heard something like dun, 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 like music playing. This dude at the carnival. Anyway, they did apartheid over there. And Iran is giving them drones, missiles, all types of shit. I hear that's you. What is that? I hear like a dun, 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 dun. Who's doing that? Anyway, but maybe I'm just hearing things. But anyway, so here's the thing. Possibly. But anyway, so hold on, guys. That's me. I think that's me. Okay, that was me. Cool. All right. Okay, so guys, here's the thing. So SAF is the ones Iran support. They send them weapons, missiles, ballistic missiles, all that, right? Not ballistic. I don't know. But they send them missiles and drones. That is the group that did the apartheid over Sudan that basically started a lot of the conflict that's going on now. So you prove it. This has been proven over and over and over. And that's who the lady who got caught at LAX, that's who she was sending the $70 million worth of weapons to. So tell me, how is Iran not anti-black when they're funding and sending weapons to anti-black regimes and armies in Sudan? That's all I'm saying. But y'all out here like seals celebrating it. I can understand you like, I don't fuck with America and I don't fuck with Iran. I could accept that. But what I can't accept is this idea that, Iran is altruistic. They're fighting against the great Satan. If America's Satan, they Satan too. What is this?
No, bro. If America's Satan, they Lucifer.
100. Lucifer. Hey guys, we have a goal, $5 super chats. We haven't hit our goal like all week. Do you guys think you can help us hit our goal, $5 super chats tonight? I'm giving you guys some crucial information here, covering the angles that no one is man enough or woman enough to cover, because nobody's talking about this right here. Everyone's just letting this go under the rug, and I'm not going to. If you're going to come at me, I'm going for the jugular, dude. How are you supporting Iran, who is supporting terrorist groups that destabilize African countries and praising them? Right? How are you praising them? Somebody said Islam is just as bad as Christians. I don't really know what Christians are doing to anybody.
I think you're muted. I can't hear you.
You can't hear me at all? I think that's you. Hold on, let me see. No. I can hear me because I'm watching me on the TV. That's you, man. Zarth, you know you could have just jumped in the convo, bro. You could just hey, but hold on, guys. I'm trying to do this thing really quick because let me cancel this. I was messing around with my layouts, and now I cannot. Let me see. I'm trying to. Let me see. I'm trying to I got Zarth. Hold on 1 second before I put you in. I'm trying to rectangle. Okay. Straight to. Okay. But I'm trying to do it to where it'll show everyone who is in the shot. But for some reason, it will not let me. Hold on. I don't know why it won't let me like put you guys in with me. I'm trying to make it to where we all could be up here together, but it's acting a fool right now. Hold on. Without kicking y'all out. Manage layouts. Let me just. I don't know what the hell's going on with this guest. Well, I don't know what the heck's going on with that, but y'all definitely in here. I can't understand why. Yeah. When I go to bring y'all in, it just takes me back to I don't watch no damn somebody's asked me why am I not watching LeBron James? Because I'm not gay. Why? What the hell is LeBron James doing for me? Or anybody black? Other than kissing China's ass. Guys, I don't know what the hell I did to my layouts, man. I didn't mess my layouts up, y'all. I don't even know how to bring them back up, y'all. Because it's supposed to be like everybody. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Got it. Got him. 3, and then there were 3. Zarth, go ahead, my brother.
So what do you think the solution should be? So should the people in Nigeria, like the Igbo and the Yoruba, team up or something to vote or something? Because then they gotta, like you guys just said, they're gonna fear a reprisal or something from the Islam, the people who support Islam, and it's like, how do you solve that issue that they're having?
Nigerians are gonna have to man up and woman up for their country. You're gonna have to decide that you want civilization and not savagery. That's the difference. Nigerians have not gotten to the point where they're sick and tired of living in fear and being ruled by a theocracy, right? Which is the Islamic theocracy. Nigerians have to rise up and say, well, look, we got jets and airships and everything else, yet our girls are getting kidnapped by Islamic extremists right up out of their school. There was a government school. It was run by the government where Muslims just went in and took all the girls hostage.
That's what happened?
Yeah, yes.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, bruh.
That's crazy.
This is what I'm telling you. How is the government how are girls getting kidnapped from a government school? Y'all could put soldiers right in front. Nigeria has an army, right? But but let me tell you what's funky about it. This is something that keeps happening. It's not a one-time type of thing. It keeps happening. Girls keep getting kidnapped from government-run schools. And the president is a Muslim, and Muslims are somehow waltzing right up into the government-run school and taking little girls out. Right here. I'll show it to you. I'm not making this up. Look, the kidnapping of Nigerian girls from government schools is a recurring crisis primarily driven by the jihadist group Boko Haram and various bandit criminal gangs. The most prominent incident was in 2014, the Chibok abduction, which sparked the global Bring Back Our Girls campaign. But they're doing it all the time. It just happened recently. Look, happened in 2014, 2018, 2025. Now, as of 2026, Boko Haram released a video threatening to execute more than 400 women and children within 72 hours unless a ransom of approximately 2.7 million is paid by 2.7 million pounds, $3.4 million is paid by the government. Now let's ask, did the government pay? Guys, this is corruption. I promise you, Tinubu is getting a cut of that money.
That's insane. That's insanity.
Man, I'm telling you, black folks, official government statements consistently deny paying ransom, but the independent investigations in internal bodies frequently claim that payments or swaps occurred. I'm telling guys, listen, how do you hear that? How do you hear that and disagree with me? You have a Muslim president. Listen to this. Listen to this. Listen to this. You have a Muslim president, and Muslim terrorist groups are able to walk into government schools, kidnap 100, 200 girls, right? Right? No army around to fight them, nothing. Then they take the girls to a quote unquote undisclosed locations, Art, and demand that the government pay $2 and $3 and $4 million, right? The government pays the money, the girls get released, then they do it all again. Y'all can't see that the president is on the take? Y'all can't see that the president is orchestrating that shit?
It sounds like the biggest grift in history.
And then when the United States wanted to come in and bomb the terrorists, Tinubu tried to stop them. The president, no, don't do it. Don't come bomb them. Don't come bomb them. So they're kidnapping your girls every other week. They're holding them hostage and demanding a ransom every other week. But you don't want us to blow the shit out of them? What? He's in on it. I don't care if I was sitting in that nigga face in Nigeria, surrounded by his royal guard. I'll tell him straight to his face, you are a terrorist. You are in on it with the terrorists. You are using the terrorists as your government, your political gang, to extort your own government for millions and millions and millions of dollars. I tell him to his face and welcome death. How is Nigerians, because he's doing what Nigerians do best, scam. He's doing what Nigerians do best, run scams. And they know it. Nigerians are not dumb. They know a pay-to-play scheme. They know a damn extortion racket. They know a protection racket when they see one, but they won't stand up against it. Corrupt countries elect corrupt leaders. That's why I don't want to hear no Nigerian ever say nothing against Trump. Cuts out your damn tongue, like Steven on Django.
Because Trump actually did what needed to be done with Iran and stop these terrorist groups from funding this nonsense crap that they do over there. So, excuse my language. It's like at a point. This shit. Sorry.
You good. Speak your mind.
At some point, our people just need to stop blaming other people for nonsense stuff that's not happening and start living in the real world and use their brains. Our people are smart, but it's like, come on, you got.
Our people are what you call willfully obtuse. We are experts at pretending not to understand. It is something that we learned during slavery because the smart niggas got sold, but nobody would buy the dumb niggas. So everybody was encouraged to act dumb so they could stay with Big Mammy. That's all that was. And we have learned that protection mechanism and we exhibit it to this day, and we getting better and better at it. I'm cheering Iran, but Iran is destabilizing my country. I'm cheering Iran, but Iran is colonizing Africa while I scream that America is a colonizer. Show me how many colonies America ever set up in Africa, bro. America ain't never set up no damn colony in Africa, ever.
It didn't.
Never. But you're convinced that America is trying to colonize Africa. You're convinced that Israel, they're trying to expand and make the greater Israel. But while Israel's sitting in the middle of 57 damn Muslim countries, and they got one country. Now, I ain't no Israel sympathizer, but goddamn, that don't really make much sense.
It doesn't.
If a rat is surrounded by a bunch of roaches, the rat ain't the one trying to colonize. I'm not worried about the rat. I'm worried about the roaches.
Damn.
Let me see what this lady say. You guys are up to, and you shouldn't even be up here talking about slavery and none of that shit. But this idiot on the panel, you are a black man. You should know better. You are a black man. You what, lady? What? I don't even understand what she's talking about. Thank you for your comment, Monica. Hey, yo, Monica. She looked like somebody grandma. That's okay though. I love my grandma. Yeah, Africa is communist for the most part. It's too overregulated and corrupt. But this is what I'm telling you. When you touch the ground in Africa, not a single African is a communist. Corrupt African leaders push communism, but African people, they love capitalism. Africa has never been communist. People do that lie. Oh, Africans was tribal. They was communist. They was socialist. That's a goddamn lie.
Of course. Africa has never been communist whatsoever.
Bro, your wealth was determined by how many cows you had. If you didn't have cattle, you wasn't shit. What part of communism is that? What part of communism is that? Look, if you had 100 cows, you were worth more than someone who had no cows. That's not communism. That is capitalism. Because the cows and the cattle was the capital. You were the dude who could sell the meat, the milk. You had the chickens, you could sell the eggs. And because you had all them cows, you could buy up all the land by just selling cows, right? Name me a time when Africa was a socialist continent. Never, ever. Shaka Zulu was a colonizer. He went around and killed other tribes and took their land and made slaves out of their women. Do you understand? I'm just keeping it real with you. So when the lady at the local African gift shop in your city try to sell you this bullshit, like a lady tried to tell me, oh yeah, our people originally were vegans. I almost fell on the floor laughing at that hoe. Vegans? We used to eat meat right off the carcass without even cooking it. But we was vegans.
You can even watch videos of our people who are living in the village eating bush meat and stuff and cooking by fire.
We was eating everything, bro. Baboons and all types of shit. They're like saying dumb shit, not realizing that in Africa there are still people in every country who are living the way we lived thousands of years ago. Hunting a monkey, eating it, hunting anything, shit, anything they could catch. Do you remember when Renee, old crazy ass, tried to tell me that Africans originally was all vegans? I want to drop kick her ass. Bro, our people drunk milk with blood in it. That ain't no vegan delicacy. I know. I was with the Maasais. Right. Right. Look, I was with the Maasais, bro. I drunk the milk with the blood. I drank that. They like, we've been drinking this for like 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 years. So when was we vegans? I've been with the Maasais out in Kitengela in Kenya and watched them slaughter a damn cow. And we drank the blood and ate and give me the ribeye because I was right there eating that shit. I've watched it. So what the hell how you gonna tell me? People who don't even got a passport trying to teach. Yeah, maybe you could teach English or something, physics. But you're not going to teach me about my people and our practices for thousands of years. You just can't do that. But that's what we do. We love to hear a lie, repeat it, and then move forward on it. And then we hear another lie that sounds more exciting, and then we repeat that and then move forward on that. This is what we do. This is what we do. Africa ain't India. I didn't say we was nasty. I just said we drank milk with blood in it. That's a fact. Y'all crazy. Do y'all even look? Stay on this channel. If you want to learn about your people and who you are, stay on this channel. Yes, I talk about American politics, but I have no problem talking about black stuff. Because I'm blacker than 90% of these people who think they black. I'm black, y'all. I'm black, y'all. I'm bliggly, bliggly black. Right? I just ain't a nigga. So I don't just immerse my mind in ignorance and lies and then go try to tell those lies to other people to see who I can trick. I feel like black folks be trying to trick each other. Let me tell this dude a bold-faced lie and see if he believes it. I got you. No. You ain't got me, bro. You got you. It's not good to drink the blood from an animal, for it's the lifeline. That's if you're a Christian. Yeah, whatever. I just did it because I want to try it. I'm not no blood drinker. Like, oh, let me drink the blood. That's not me. But if I'm around some 6 foot, some 8 foot dudes, you know what I'm saying? If I'm around some dudes that's 8 feet, and they say try this, I'm at least try it once.
You get tired of the lies that our people tell, like they're Indians or this stuff with the Hebrew Israelites and stuff. It's ridiculous.
Don't even get me started, bruh. You got Hebrew Israelites in Mexico now, bruh.
Oh, really?
Yes. They didn't infiltrated Mexico.
Oh, damn. They're doing that grift over there too?
Bruh. And it was some Mexicans and some blacks. The Mexicans was like, we need to go to Mexico and evangelize. They out there acting crazy. The Jewish people in Mexico too, big time. The president of Mexico is Jewish.
Huh.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Hey, it's crazy, bro. They are in the streets of Tijuana proselytizing. And the Mexicans argue. I like the Mexicans because the Mexicans be going up on them with the scriptures and all that. They be arguing with them. Here, everybody just walk past them because they don't want to get beat up. But I had two, maybe 3 arguments with Hebrew Israelites, and it was over. They got cooked so bad they left. I chased them off. It was 3 of them, and they was ugly too. Big and ugly. Yeah, but they didn't want the smoke, man. They didn't want the smoke. But yeah, it's a lot of black folk. But there's a lot of Jewish people in Mexico. A lot of people might not know that, but there's a significant number. Where's this Hebrew Israelites in Mexico? Hebrew Israelites. No, I don't want Mexico City. Hebrew Israelites debate in Mexico. Yeah, a lot of people, I don't know where the video went, but there's a video like all over. It's going around all over. They in Mexico arguing with the Mexican people. Might be on TikTok. But why Jews love arguing? Why not? I loves me a good argument. I love that.
Sounds like it's gonna get ugly over there with the Hebrew Israelites.
They stay in like tourist areas. They know where to go. They're not dumb. They stay on Tijuana. They stay on Revolution Street. Have you ever been to Mexico?
Mexico?
Yeah.
Nah, I haven't been there before.
Yeah, if you go there, there's a street called Revolution Street. That's where all the Americans stay at. Like They don't go past that really. They just stick right at revolution. Revolution. I feel the revolution in my loins. But guys, I'm telling you, watch this. Let me see if I can find my video. Ooh, I got him. Let me see. Oh yeah, this is beautiful. This is good. Hey guys, don't go anywhere. I'm gonna show y'all a video of me cooking some Hebrew Israelites for dinar. Dinar. Doot, 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 doot. Intro. Afro Samurai. This is when I used to cook. I used to cook everybody.
Deflect. Come on, man. Somebody ask me a question. You've been talking all day. Bro, you got an ego and they following along. Why is you out here? Why you didn't watch this damn sheet you got on your back? Because I didn't want to. Now answer why you didn't watch that damn blanket. Hey, this was gonna lead to. It's gonna lead to insults and little baby. You was insulting me first.
They were insulting me.
Who first? They insulted me first.
Hey, the Hebrew Israelites are notorious for insulting people. They make white people lick their boots, all that. But when I start roasting them because they was trying to roast me, all of a sudden they became victims. Reduced them right down to what they really are, a bunch of dusty, nappy-headed victims.
They look like a bunch of bums.
They are a bunch of bums. What the hell?
I know, but seriously, if they're trying to do this drift, why they shouldn't be dressing like that at all.
But tried to talk about me. Try to call me fat. Oh, bro, fat. I said, oh, I know y'all ain't coming with the jokes.
This is what he do. This is what they do. This is what. Listen, man, go invest in a better costume, bro. That's all I'm saying.
Looking like the cat in the hat with that damn shirt.
Crazy? In the end, when he gonna try to save the Edomite
gonna try to save the Edomite. The Edomite is your brother. Look. Soon as he says something, he's gonna try to save an Edomite. Deuteronomy 23:7 say, "You shall not abhor the Edomite. He is your brother." So they follow the Bible, but they don't. They follow what they want to follow, according to what they think is best. They could not. The reason why they got mad is because they could not fool me with the scriptures, because I've read the scriptures many times. These people are out trying to fleece people they know who are ignorant and don't know anything. See, I'm telling you, black people are the same all over. Why do you think you got Africans now trying to claim that they Hebrews? Because they are suffering from the same, many of them are suffering from the same identity issue that black Americans is suffering from.
The Bible say that Edomite your brother. The Bible say that Edomite is his brother. You look like your ass can go a few days without a couple of I can't. You got a bigger belly than me. Stop trying to hide that belly behind that sign. They packing up. They took the shit. I pulled them up out their clothes. Why you take your clothes off? Why you take your clothes off? Why you take your clothes off? Why did you take your clothes off? Why did you take your clothes off? Look, he took your shirt. Why you taking your clothes off? Get my boy some Twinkies. Why you taking your clothes off?
Ran them up out of their shirts.
I didn't undress them.
So what happened? Did they just get cooked by this guy or something?
No, I cooked them. I literally
you.
Yes.
Oh man.
Listen, y'all think I just be quoting? Y'all think I just be? Oh, is it looking choppy? Y'all think I just be saying scriptures, bro? I know the scriptures, bro. I know the scriptures. I don't just be making that up. I cooked them up out of their shirts. They were so upset. I hurt their feelings. And they pulled off their clothes. You know, in the Bible, it talk about people when they was in distress, they would rip their garments, right? That's what they did. They ripped, well, their garments was ripped before they but they removed their garments. That was a shameful sign in ancient Israel.
So these guys take like the pieces of whatever they're talking about, and then they just try to spin it or something like that.
Exactly, and really don't even know like what they're talking about. They lack context because they have never studied the scriptures. They're just regurgitating. They're regurgitating what's been told to them. So they don't really know. They're just talking. They're regurgitating. And when you're and it's easy to tell when someone's doing that, because when you start bringing up scriptures, right? They run away because they're like, I can't have a real scripture based conversation. So they got to dip. But I was just making fun of them because they said I was going into a laundromat right there, and the dude said something slick. And you the original something and some shit. And I was like, bro, I got time today while these clothes is drying. I think our washer dryer was broke or some shit. And man, I cooked those dudes. I had time.
Yeah,
but yes,
you exposed them. You said that like a long time ago with when you were exposing Tariq. And,
yeah, because man, because listen, one thing I learned about our people, we'll follow anybody. As long as the person is telling us what we want to hear, we will follow anybody. And it's really sad that it's that way. You know, we're better than that, but you only as good as what you show. You know, you know, like Boys in the Hood, they either don't know, they don't show, or they just don't give a F. But yeah. If you go to Hebrew, abhor doesn't mean hate, and the context is about living amongst different nations in the city. In the city, nations, different. How are they different groups of people? Listen, people don't even know the Hebrews, the Israelites were not one group of people. If you read your Bible, the Israelites were not one nationality. They were people made up of many different nationalities. That's why the Bible called them the mixed multitude when they came out of Egypt, because even some Egyptians left with Moses and the Hebrews. So you just got to know what you're talking about. And in order to know what you're talking about, you got to pick up, you know, the Bible and read it once or twice. And that's what people refuse to do. That's why you have Africans who believe that they are Hebrews. That's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. But I commend them. Them shirts was raggedy, boy. I don't know what bed sheets they ripped up to make them damn shirts, but Lord knows they did it. But guys, look, y'all want to see something funny? I don't know about. Oh man, okay. Yeah, they still talking about that father who killed those people. Let me see. I don't just go in on Christians. I go in on people with the African spirituality too. If you up there talking about I'm an empath and I'm this and that, yeah, prove it. Prove that. Because if I get up there, I'm gonna come up cooking with butter, baby. Real talk. I think this might be.
But
yeah, this lady. There was a lady today.
They started to
on my boy Dinah's channel. She was up there talking that yin yang.
Forth, like that doesn't. And that you can find us expressing through many exact
spirituality that you probably practice in Ethiopia. So I'm trying to understand.
Hold on, I'm going.
Start.
Okay, import all the. Okay. Here we go. Hey, Dinah, can you hear me? Okay.
Loud and clear.
Okay, so I have two things. One, the Hebrew Israelite guy, you know, this was today. We all have to understand about that is there's no real evidence for that. The evidence is it's an identity issue, right? A lot of people are walking around thinking that they men when they really women. A lot of people think they women when they really men. Our generation, our country, and in our world, it has a serious issue with identity disorder, right? The man says, oh, my father's tribe, this, that, and the third, goes back to Israel. If you read the Bible, which 90% of these people haven't, and if they have, there's no understanding. If you go to the book of Deuteronomy, you go through 19th chapter to the 24th chapter. The Israelites were not Israelites until they entered into a covenant with Yahweh when Moses was standing on top of Mount Sinai, and he made the covenant with them on the behalf of Yahweh and poured all the bull's blood on top of them, gave them the commandments and stuff, and they were like, whatever's said, we'll do, right? So my question is, how are you an Israelite when your family never entered into that covenant? You never stood at the base of no mountain and got covered with bull's blood to enter into a covenant. That was only the people who left out of Egypt. Here's the bigger thing. It was not just one group or type of people who left Egypt with Moses. Many Egyptians left Egypt with Moses, right? There were people who were Hebrews, but then there were people who were other races too. That's why the Bible describes them as a mixed multitude. There was not one distinct group of people who was Israelite. It was many different types of people, right? But most of what is found in the Bible as the customs of the Jews or, the Israelites, those are things that they learned in Egypt in captivity, right? If you go live amongst a group of people for 400 years, you're going to lose most of what you were doing before you came in, and you're going to adopt most of what they're doing before you leave. That's like Black folks being in America, right? We once we stayed in America so long, we weren't walking around with loincloths anymore. We start putting on pants and boots and shirts and suspenders and belts, right? You can't live amongst a group of people and perfectly preserve whatever you were doing before you went in. And that's why even with Yahweh, he had to reintroduce himself to the Hebrews who were coming out of Egypt and then enter into a covenant with them. But once he entered into that covenant, there were millions and millions of people on the planet, and everybody on the planet did not enter into that covenant. So this idea that, oh yeah, we're the people from Israel, it's just nonsensical. Egypt didn't fall apart when the Israelites left. It still endured for 1,000 years, right? More than 1,000 years. So what he's talking about with Black people being Israelites, is it possible that some Black people were there when they entered into the covenant at the base of Mount Sinai, also known as Mount Horeb? That's possible, but that is not the origin of Black people. That's nowhere near the origin of Black people. None of that has nothing to do with our origin. That could be something that a few Black people decided to join or become a part of later on. All the stuff about them going into Africa, that's all lies. Egypt is in Africa. So how you go into Africa when you was already in Africa? And those places are still there with Black folks living in those places.
Spiritual Egypt.
No, that's just nonsense. Because when you prove the physical is nonsensical, then we go over to the spiritual side. And if you're talking about spiritual, then that makes you a Christian, not a Jew. So make your mind up. But anyway, because once the
not yet, not now. But go ahead,
the spiritual aspect came in during the New Testament. That's why you're not sacrificing goats and stuff now, because everything transferred over to the spiritual once Jesus came. So don't tell me, oh, I'm a spiritual Jew or I'm a spiritual this or that. Yes, there's spiritual Israel, but spiritual Israel are Christians. They're not Jews, right? They don't practice Judaism. So yeah, that might work on somebody who doesn't read. But then the next thing is LA spirituality, Black African spirituality. When Africans made African spirituality, the usefulness of it was for survival, right? A lot of what they did was based on the natural things that occurred around them, wandering around in Africa, right? You might worship a tree. Yeah, but you might also get fruit from that tree, right? You might worship some type of animal. Yeah, but you might also eat that animal for survival, right? Like the Lion King, circle of life. We respect everything because everything's essential to the survival of everything, right? As we become more dependent on the white man or just secular things, right? Like in LA, people are on welfare, food stamps and stuff. that detaches you from the things that basically required African spirituality for you to survive. So when you look at spirituality in LA, it's just a bunch of reasoning that's kind of circular. If someone gets hurt, the explanations for things, right? It's like it's a cope of, well, whatever energy that person was exhibiting, that's what brought that calamity upon them. Even if like a kid gets hurt or something, or an adult who was innocent, it's, oh, well, there was something about something that person was doing that brought that energy in their direction. I don't really think it's spirituality. I think it's a coping mechanism that is masked with spirituality.
Brandon, you I'm gonna let. Well, are you finished? I'm gonna let.
No, that's what I was saying. I think what's being called African spirituality in LA is a coping mechanism that is being that is moonlighting as African spirituality, and that's all I'm saying.
All right, go ahead.
So the lady who's sitting there, she's like this expert goddess, queen, empath, just nonsense in African spirituality. So he's like, yeah, I'm going to let her respond to what you said. Watch her response, because she got cooked, because she knew she couldn't say anything. Because I live in LA and I know about the African spirituality grift in LA. There's a whole network of people who are grifting.
You can see it on her face.
Yeah, you can see that, because I've been to where she goes. It's a place called the Crest Center in LA, and it's just a bunch of grifters, and the majority of them are females, right? They're all very beautiful, good-looking females, and what they do is they try to suck you in, and then they start doing like, what's that stuff called where they do the eye, where they look in the eye and they do the reading stuff, right? They look in your eye and this is spiritistic thing. Anyway, they do all this garbage, right? And they lure you in and want you to sign up and pay them for classes on how to read energy and all that. But it's just a grift, right? She knew that I knew about that. So watch what she says when he's like, yo, like, address what bro said.
Kushai, out there, you could respond.
Oh, no, I just like to listen to people. Yeah, there's nothing for me to respond there.
Okay.
Yep, she's avoiding it.
Go ahead, Kidola.
I just like to listen to people. There's nothing to respond to. And then later on, she tells us that she's been married 3 times to 3 different men and divorced 3 times. And I'm like, yo, you've been married 3 times and divorced 3 times, but you claim to be an empath who can read energy, but none of that worked so that you can know that all 3 men that you married weren't the right guys? You can't be telling me you can see everything and then be walking in darkness. You couldn't tell that he wasn't the one, but you can read energy and read minds, and and you could tell by the proximity of the Little Dipper to your ass crack what's gonna happen tomorrow. They could do all that, but can't maintain a stable relationship. See, it's just bull crap, Zarth. It's just all, dude. I'm telling. Listen, the black community. And I'm not saying I don't believe African spirituality is real. I believe it's real. But I also believe, just like the Hebrew Israelite movement, it has become a safe space for undiagnosed mental illness. That's what this shit is. The black community has become a safe space for undiagnosed mental illness. Real talk. Real talk. And we got a bunch of crazies over here, and we got to call them out, because they talking like they know something and they don't, and people are believing them. We got a lot of sense. We just got too many people who ain't got no damn, who are mentally unstable, speaking on our behalf. That's the problem. What up, Zarf? What you think? What's the science?
What I think is that we need the actual, there's like, let's see, I think I have it here. It says there's 4 main movements for Jewish sects. Sect. Judaism, Orthodox, Conservative, Reform, and Reconstructionist. And there's like smaller movements, but I just did a Google search. But I guess the point I'm trying to make is that we just need to be organized with religion, whether it's like Christianity or with African spiritual religions or something like that. I think that's the best thing that our people need to do going forward, instead of this nonsense with these Hebrew Israelites are claiming that something that we're not, and that would probably be the best thing to go forward. I guess that's one solution I can think of.
Yeah, I tell black people, just go back to church. Just go back to Jesus. Not saying that I particularly prefer Jesus over any other deity, but at least when black folks was in the church, good shit was happening. Go back and sing the songs and go to choir rehearsal and get on the usher board, because at least you had somewhere to be on Sunday.
Of course.
Black folks walked away from Christianity, and the problem is they didn't have nothing else to walk into. So now they just out here spiritually and politically and ideologically homeless. Just a bunch of bums spiritually. Don't want to stick to nothing. Want to call anything that let them do whatever they want to do whenever they want to do is spiritual. That's the issue. Religion is supposed to kind of keep you on a certain path. Black folks like, yeah, man, you got women like, yeah, I sell my body on the corner and then go the next day and tell somebody I'm an empath and God talked to me and I know all, and I could read in spiritual, I could read energy and all that. It's nonsense. But somebody in the comments asked what happened to Bathsheba and David's children in the Bible. Okay, so Bathsheba and David, remember, David had Uriah killed, right, so that he could sleep with his wife. He put him on the front lines of the war. He got killed so he could slide. Well, actually, what happened was Uriah went to war. David had sex with Bathsheba. She got pregnant. To conceal that, he then placed Uriah at the front lines, and he got killed where the fighting is the heaviest. So David committed murder to cover up the fact that he slept with another man's wife, okay, and got her pregnant. Because of that, I think it was the prophet Nathan told him that he would be cursed and everything would be bad for him and his children. So remember, the first baby they had died at birth. Then they had Solomon, and Solomon became king of Israel, but in the end of his life, he started worshiping false gods. Right, he fell away from the worship of Yahweh, who they call the Most High, and he went off worshiping false gods. So the lineage was kind of cursed that way. The other three children, the Bible don't mention them. It don't tell you what happened with them, so they were insignificant. They all just died off as members of the royal family, no doubt. Bathsheba herself is believed, the mom is believed that she became pretty powerful in Israel. And she served as an advisor to Solomon, who was also called Lemuel, right? That's just based on what you can kind of surmise from the Bible. But yeah, David's whole line was jacked up, y'all. Remember his son Absalom? He tried to steal the throne. He tried to usurp the throne, bro. Ended up getting killed. He just had a lot of misery because he was doing stupid shit. Yeah, the stories are made up. Come on, we know that, but I'm just saying, guys, come on, play along. I don't mind the Bible. I don't mind Christianity, because I feel like black folks was at least knew how to act when they was following Christianity.
Of course.
And walked away from Christianity just to be savage, more savage. Go back. If you can't do nothing better without it than you was doing with it, just go back until you're ready. That's all I'm saying. Just go back until you're ready. I know Dr. Amos Wilson was like, get rid of the religion, but Marcus Garvey was a Christian and he did a lot. I'm going to tell you, if you need it, go ahead and do it. I'll support you. But if you don't know how to act without the Bible telling you thou shalt not steal and shit, go back to it. You know what I'm saying? Because our people are just out here godless. We doing savage stuff that you would have never thought you see black folks doing. But I digress.
I mean, that's true. It's like, look, the Jews, they follow their religion. They follow whatever sect they're a part of, and they make sure that they follow their religion. and it keeps them grounded. That's basic. Even if there's the Bible or whatever people are a part of, as long as your people are grounded and you're able to work with your community, that's all you need. That's all people need. That's it. It's not about what stories being told. It's about keeping your community in check.
100%. It's about gathering together of people who have similar goals, right? Josh, I see you corrected that up because I was about to get on you. Adam and Eve had many children. The Bible doesn't actually even tell you how many kids they had, but they had like more than 4. They had a lot because remember, Cain, think about this. Adam and Eve were the first people on earth, according to the Bible. Cain, after he killed Abel, he married his sister and then fled to a city, to the land of Nod. And there was cities there, to a city of refuge. So there were cities at that time. Those people would all have been descendants of Adam and Eve, right? So they had tons of kids who had kids, because Adam supposedly lived to like 900 and something years old. So how many kids can you have in 900 years? You know what I'm saying? And so they had many more children than just Cain, Abel, Seth, I think the other kid's name was, and then the sisters. But it's not worse than Harry Potter. It's fun. Vanessa, stop being a little killjoy. We want to believe. We, believe in something. Shit. Listen, it all came from Egypt anyway. And Egypt is in Africa, so I'm cool with it. All these religions came from Egypt. Y'all do know that, right? All these religions came from Egypt. I don't want to bust none of y'all bubble. All these religions came from Egypt. So somewhere down the line, oh no, Vanessa is cute. She ain't no low key. Everybody likes Vanessa. Every guy in my comments likes Vanessa. She needs to come here more so more people will join my damn channel. I could hand the channel off to Vanessa, and I'm pretty sure my subscriber number will go up, But she from Philly though, should not. Mama said knock you out. She's tough. I'm gonna come to Philly, and she's gonna show me where to get the perfect cheesesteak. I don't know which one, because I be on the internet trying to look, but there's so much confusion and conflict. Some people like the cheesesteak with no mayo, and I be like, what? How you don't eat mayo, bro? Who don't eat mayo? But yeah. Anyway, Vanessa, you still riding with Trump, or you done turned on Trump like everybody else? Guys, if you just getting in here, we're talking about how in the world black people are rooting for Iran while Iran is funding terrorism in Africa. And we're highlighting the fact that an Iranian arms dealer, a female, was busted at LAX who was brokering a $70 million deal between Iran and Sudan, the racist governments of Sudan, who slaughter blacks through genocide and also do Arab black apartheid in Sudan. Iran's giving them drones, missiles, rockets, guns, all that. Funding the terrorists, funding terrorism in the Sahel that seeks to destabilize African nations. And I'm wondering, 100%, both of them do. Ja rules, 100%. UAE and Iran fund both sides in the Sudanese conflict because they're trying to expand the influence of Islam and Arabs into Africa. And they support terrorist groups who perform acts of terrorism in African countries. So I was just questioning how black Africans all over the globe, us included, black Americans included, how are we praising and celebrating Iran while Iran is openly trying to colonize Africa by proxy through terrorist groups, right? Yeah, they're still in the gold, and so is Iran. So is Russia. But my problem is we're cheering these groups. Everything you're saying UAE is doing, Iran is doing it too. Everything you're saying UAE is doing, Iran is doing it too. None of them are innocent. But I'm just asking, how are black folks cheering Iran on while Iran is purposely, intentionally destabilizing African countries through terrorism? Yeah, we want them to have a nuke. Then they'll really be doing it. We don't make any sense. Our folks don't know if we're coming or going. If I say F Iran, I get criticized. I say the enemy of my enemy is my friend. And the United States is the enemy of Iran. So do I hope the United States blows them to smithereen? I sure do.
Our people are crazy for doing this, supporting Iran. These people are basically our enemies. And you don't see a freaking hyena and a lion trying to befriend. They keep their territory. Why I don't understand though why our people would be supporting the people who've been our enemies since the, what was it called, the Islamic slave trade or whatever it was.
Yeah.
You don't try to support somebody that's trying to actively kill you. It makes no sense whatsoever, and I don't understand. I sometimes just shake my head to whatever stupidness that gets into our people's head when they try to support another group of people that actively hate you.
Oh, 100%. 100. That's my question. How are we celebrating Iran? You could be mad at America, right? But at the end of the day, the money hits your EBT card on time every month. You know what I'm saying? So you can only be so mad. But Iran ain't doing shit for you but destabilizing your ethnic homeland. But you're cheering them on. They're the good guys. Look, being a Trumper is lame now. You know what else is lame? Supporting Iran when they destabilize in African countries. When they're purposely, intentionally sending weapons into African countries to terrorist groups that are working to overthrow the government. That is also lame. That is also lame. I don't know about Jews stealing land in South Africa. Are you going to say the greater Israel thing? That thing is nonsense. You got John in your name, bro. You have Jewish. And I ain't no Israeli sympathizer. I'm just telling you, Israel and the United States are the least of black folks' problems. I'm being real with you. Israel and the United States are the least of black folks' problems. Me and my boy had a whole debate about it right on here. Hey, guys, but we're going to get out of here. Zard, thank you. Any last words, Zard? Go ahead. Cook them now. Any last words before I get out of here?
Oh, all right. So to the audience, this is what I got to say. You guys, I'm not going to try to judge anybody or anything, but come on, people, use your common sense and try to think about what you need to do for yourselves and your family and your community and try to build something upon it, because you can't really try to support people that are actively trying to kill you. There's like this video game that I played a long time ago called Final Fantasy 6. And this guy named Kuja, who's like the main boss of the game, he basically puts poison in the water and kills the people in the kingdom, and he's doing that for laughs, and he's like the last boss. But anyways, what I'm trying to say is, don't try to support people who are actively trying to kill you and trying to halt your progress. And the best thing that our people can do right now, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure things out myself, but just use a little bit of common sense and try not to try to bring people to the table so you can negotiate things and just try to do good by your family members. That's all I gotta say.
Thank you so much. Abdiduke. We are killing the children. What the F are you talking about? Why are you pretending to give a shit about Iranian children? That's crazy. So So I'm supposed to sell my kids out because Iran's kids are getting hit as collateral damage to the government, the cowardly government hiding behind them. You sound dumb. Iran told their women and children to go stand around oil refineries to keep the United States from bombing the oil refineries. Excuse me. So you want me to care about Iranian children more than their own government cares about? Now, I don't think any child being killed is a good thing. I don't think that. But I'm not going to lose any sleep at night knowing that they wake up and teach those children to chant death to America. Just sounded dumb. I don't even know if this person's black, but he sounds dumb as hell. So look, why even have borders? Why have a military or anything? Because we got to think about the children. The RGC wasn't thinking about the children when they killed 50,000 of their parents during one round of protests. Get the hell out of here with that shit. Go tell yourself that stupidity in the mirror. We're killing but what about the children? What about the children in the UAE that Iran was bombing and the UAE hadn't even done anything to Iran? What about the children in Saudi Arabia who Iran started bombing and Saudi Arabia didn't do anything to Iran? I hate people like that. What about the children? You don't care about the American children that'll die if Iran gets a nuclear weapon. You're attacking civilian infrastructure and acting like it's not a war crime because it's not.
I just have one more thing to say.
Go ahead.
You know how China had to go to war with all these kingdoms in the past and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, they actively went to war with each other to unify the country. I mean, China isn't perfect, but I mean, sometimes you just gotta fight sometimes blood gets spilled to make something, and I'm pretty sure those kingdoms had to negotiate with each other in order to form one country after all that blood was spilled.
Listen,
if that makes sense.
Listen, this is my Let me, y'all. Okay, I want y'all to really follow me. Don't go nowhere. Follow me as black people in America, and tell me if this makes sense or it don't. Okay, in the state where I live, called California, they have a rule. Say you and 5 guys go to rob a house, right? Say as you're robbing the house and there's no one there, the police pull up in the driveway. When the police pull up in the driveway, you and your 5 friends run out the house. The police pull out their guns and they shoot at you and they hit one of your friends and he dies. Do you know that in California, all 4 of the other robbers will be charged with the murder of that person who the police killed, because that person was killed in the act of them all committing a crime together, right? Black people support that, right? If someone dies and they're with you, help you commit a crime, their death will be charged to you as murder. That's the law in many states around America. So if Iran purposely hides, if the IRGC purposely hides behind its women and children and uses them as human shields, and they get killed, I feel like those deaths should be credited to Iran. If a country simply has to agree to not build a nuclear weapon, right? And they say, okay, we're not going to build a nuke. Then they say, well, we have every right to build a nuke if we want to, and play those type of games. And it costs lives of their civilians that they hide behind. That's on them. I'm not holding the United States at fault for that. I'm not holding the United States at fault for that at all. You're never going to have a nuclear weapon because you fund terrorism. Because every time you get money, you build bombs and you give money to terrorist groups and they kill Americans. So you care about the 127 little girls who got killed in Iran, but you don't care about the 100-something Americans who got kidnapped, the 46 Americans who got killed by Hamas after Iran funded them and trained them to launch an attack on a damn concert. And then the women who were repeatedly raped by those terrorists. It's fake sympathy, bro. I care about 127 kids getting killed, but I don't care about the 50,000. Okay, so let's just say everything is equal. We killed 127 people in a school. We killed 160, 127 of them were kids. Iran killed 50,000 of their own citizens, 50,000 of them, for protesting about the economy. Iran right now, today, is sentencing women to be hanged for participating in the protests in January about the hyperinflation of the economy. And and what they do to the women is, before they hang the women, they gang rape them, right? Because in Islam, if you die and you're a virgin, you can't go to hell. You can only go to heaven. So to prevent these women from going to heaven, they gang rape them before they execute them. This is a proven fact. So every woman being sentenced to death, which it's been like almost 100 right now, every woman today, yesterday, the day before, who has been sentenced to death will be gang raped first and then hung because they don't like the state. They didn't like the state of their economy. They say, oh, these persons are acting on behalf of America. Okay, we'll prove it. Where's the proof? Where's the evidence? Where's the evidence? No, I am educated. You're mad because I'm too educated. Iran has admitted that they're killing these people. That ain't got nothing to do with Fox News. That has nothing to do. This is what we do. This is the cope. This is the coping mechanism, guys. When we don't like the facts, we cope. I don't cope. I just go with the facts. I detach my emotion from it and I go with the facts. Iran executing women, non-American source. Okay. That's Fox News. The UN News, United Nations. That ain't Fox News. News Nation. That ain't Fox News. Al Jazeera. That ain't Fox News. The Hill. That ain't Fox News. CBS. That ain't Fox News. Oh, you guys can't see this, huh? Let me share this with you. It's bull. Throwing out, oh, that's Fox News. That's a coping mechanism. I don't do that. I'm a grown-ass man, dog. Like Cedric the Entertainer say. CBS is not Fox News. Let's click on what they have to say. Right here. April 15th. This CBS. That's not Fox News. That's CBS. Woman among four more Iranians sentenced to death over protest, writes group say. Iranian authorities have sentenced to death 4 more people, including a woman, over last January's protest. Several rights groups said on Tuesday. Iran has already hanged 7 people in connection with the protests, which activists say were put down in a crackdown that killed thousands and led to tens of thousands of arrests. Now, let me paint this picture for y'all. If you protest in the United States, right? Okay, Steve, you sound stupid. I'm reading this from CBS, but you're still talking about a Fox News. See what I'm saying? This is why I tell y'all this is coping mechanism. They don't listen. Let me paint this picture for you. There were protests in the streets in Iran. Thousands of people showed up. If you protest in America and thousands of people show up and they want to disperse the protest, they're going to use tear gas. They're going to use flashbang grenades. They're going to use rubber bullets. They're going to use batons and billy clubs. They're going to use shields. And they're going to use zip tie handcuffs to put you down. All those things can reduce a grown man to a curled up ball on the ground because the pain is too much, right? Iran, before y'all call me an idiot, just focus on facts. I'm teaching you. I'm teaching you something your daddy never taught you how to do. There are dozens of less than lethal ways to put down protests. All types of gas, tear gas, smoke grenades, flashbang, pepper spray, right? They got water cannons where they can hit your ass in the chest, knock the wind out of you, they arrest you. There are tons of non-lethal ways to put down protesters. Iran will spend billions and billions and billions of dollars building missiles and building drones, right? Right? But you're telling me that they can't spend a couple of million to get less than lethal weapons to put down protesters? So they instead had to use bullets to kill 50,000 of their own people, right? 50,000 of their own people to put down a protest? No, and guess what? Now the goalpost shifts. Alex Preddy and Renee Good was protesting. Okay. And when they died, y'all acted a fool. 2 Americans die. Y'all act a fool. 50,000 Iranians are killed by their own government. And y'all like, who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck? That's y'all mindset. Y'all don't see nothing wrong with that. Hypocrisy. Thy name is Abdaduki, or whatever your name is. You cannot claim to care about the lives of 2 people and then hear about 50,000 people getting killed and just be like, oh yeah, it don't matter, and expect me to think that you ever really cared about those 2 people. No, you're dumb, Steve, because I'm telling you facts. I'm asking you a very simple question. Iran, who can spend billions on weapons, could not spend millions or thousands on anti-riot gear. Ask yourself that. Make that make sense to me. It's bullcrap. That's what I'm telling you. That's when you know you're dealing with a terrorist regime. When they're using bullets to put down riots, bro. There are so many different weapons. They're called active denial systems that they could have used. They know that there's going to be protests because the economy is bad. They said, we're just going to use bullets. We're just going to use bullets. That's not how you deal with your own people. That's not how you deal with your own people. You guys are, there was one of our ancestors who said, if you don't pay attention to keep a strong mind, you'll be over here praising and fighting for criminals and basically demons. They killed 50,000 people. So what, Brandon? What about Renee Good and Alex Preddy? Okay, their lives are also important. But how does 2 outweigh 50,000?
Marines and several other DoD representatives had quite the heated demonstration at Quantico.
Look, they teach you how to deal with protesters. Non-lethal weapons that Iran can buy. Iran can buy all types of missiles, build drones, but they can't deal with an unruly crowd.
Boasts a reach far beyond range.
I'm telling you, they wanted to murder those people because that's how they eliminated their opposition
without permanent harm.
Then, if you know Iranian people like I do who have family over there, they said they went door to door, going up in people's house who they thought were in the protest, arresting them and hung them, and took them out to hang them like dogs.
It only penetrates shallow. By it.
And safe.
And if you listen to what you're saying, these people,
like a hot, or grill being open like a hot oven.
Look at this.
Secretary of the Major of the Marine Corps.
Look at this.
Sergeant Major and safe. Even let any of the guests.
Look. There's a weapon that this guy's using that will send.
No permanent injury caused by it. Where your nerve receptors are.
Look at this.
All without permanent harm.
It only penetrates 1/64 of an inch of your skin. Goes very shallow into where your nerve receptors are, and there's no permanent injury caused by it. Very safe system. We've built in some safety margins and training for the operators.
They even let any of the guests volunteer to test out its effectiveness and safety, including the Assistant Commandant of the Marine Corps, Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps, and Assistant Secretary of the Navy. Most described it as feeling like a hot oven or grill being opened up.
It is something that, once again, probably the safest system that we've developed as far as the non-lethal capability.
From Washington, I'm Sergeant Andrew Milner.
So that just gives you an example of the types of things you can do to disperse crowds, right? Without hurting them. They got something that's like
Sergeant Andrew.
They got something
an inch of your skin.
That's like a microwave oven where they just aim it at you and you just turn it on and it shoots like a super hot, like invisible ray at you. And it's so hot, you run. Hey, that's hot. I'm gone. No, but in Iran, they use bullets. They can build missile after missile after missile, but they can't afford a couple of $1 million to buy this. And those people will be out of the street, gone in a second. But this is what I'm trying to tell y'all. Dude, we have gotten to the point where we are defending murderers. You're mad at the U.S. for 127 kids dying, but defending Iran, who didn't kill 50,000 people. I'm sorry, I just can't be that hypocritical. I mean, you're welcome to be, but I can't be that hypocritical. It's just not something I can be a part of. Say what you want. Call me whatever name you want. But guess what? That's just not me. I don't engage in hypocrisy. Straight up. I don't engage in it. So, Brandon, I'm mad at you because you won't be hypocritical like me. What? You should be like, dang, at least bro keeps it a buck. He calls it straight down the line. You don't want that. That's not good enough for you. Brandon just keep saying it. He's all over the place. I'm not all over the place. I'm very stable. You can't defend the indefensible. Who said I was defending it? I'm just calling you a hypocrite. Anybody who pretends to care more about 127 than they care about 50,000 is a hypocrite. The United States killed 127 Iranian children. The IRGC killed 50,000 Iranian men, women, and children. That's where I'm at with it. Hey, shout out to my boy Zarth, man, for helping us get close to our goal. He said that a while back. Where you at, Zarth? Let's see. Can I make this show? Oh, here we go. Shout out to Zarth. I sent my contribution. Thank you, my brother, for the $5 holler. Guys, we are only 4 super chats away from hitting our goal. Do you want to help us? Do you want to keep free black media alive? Or do you want to only have the liars on the stage? This Trump D-licker. I haven't said a single word about Trump, but okay, D-Trump. That's cool. That's cool. I don't know. Rest that. Well, you tell me. I don't even care about the Epstein files. You don't know what you're talking about, Brandon. Go get a job. You have been jobless for quite a while now. Yeah, man. Whatever. I was just at work yesterday. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. But yeah, guys, this is my thing. Why be mad at me for being honest? Why be mad at me for being truthful and fair? You're telling me you care about 127,000 people. You're telling me you care about 127 kids dying, but then excusing and doing mental gymnastics so you don't have to accept 50,000 people getting killed. So if the United States kills 127 Iranians. And the IRGC killed 50,000 Iranians. The United States is bad, but Iran is good. Stupid. So you're telling me you believe people should die for protesting? That's what they're saying. These Americans who say no kings, no dictators, or nothing, they defend a dictatorial regime that killed 50,000 of its own people for protesting. That's what's wild here. And you'll call me, oh, he's this, that. Bro, I have been all over the world. I have friends of every nationality, Muslim, Christian, whatever. See this? This is me in Dubai. This is me in Dubai. I have friends of every nationality. That's my tailor right there, Abdul. That's me with my boys in Dubai. We chilling, having coffee. That's me in Abu Dhabi. Don't tell me. I've broke bread. I have people who are like my brothers who are Muslims. But I'm not going to lie for anybody, especially a bunch of people I don't even know. This is what I see. I'm upset about the 127, but I'm more pissed off about the 50,000. That's the healthy way to look at it, right? I'm not going to pretend to be pissed off by the 127, but ignore and make excuses for the murder of 50,000. We both could be bad, but we ain't going to call one good and one bad when one killed more than the other one. Just never going to do that. That's never going to be me. Y'all do and believe what y'all want to believe, but don't get mad at me because I refuse to display, exhibit, or display that level of straight up hypocrisy, because that's what it is at the end of the day. It's straight up hypocrisy. And people who do that, engage in that kind of hypocrisy, they need to do some soul searching, because your soul ain't right. Your moral compass is broken. Nah, Iran could kill 50,000, Brandon. It don't matter. But if America touches 2, it's a problem. Nah, the problem is you. The problem is you. And you've gone so far, you can't see it. You can't see it yet. And that's okay. But just don't expect me to join you in your hypocrisy. That's all I'm saying. I'm not judging you. I'm not shaming you. Just don't expect me to play along, dog. I can't do it. I cannot do it. I can't do it. It's just not, that's just not who I am. But yeah, I have friends from all over. And I talk to my Muslim friends. I have friends who are Iranian. I asked them, what do you think? IRGC, good or bad? Bad. Everybody asks, bad, 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 bad. Why? They're terrorists. So what do you want to see America do? I want to see America keep bombing them. So now I should believe a bunch of Americans who would never step foot in Iran over actual Iranians who are like, IRGC is bad news, bro. That makes a lot of sense. I'm supposed to believe a random person on YouTube over my people who like my brothers and sisters, you know, who have family living over there suffering under that regime. It's just never going to happen. It's never going to happen. That's just like me trying to tell somebody about slavery and being black in America. And somebody said, nah, he don't know what he's talking about. Nah, I'm black. I've lived it. How you going to tell me I don't know what I'm talking about when I'm the one living it? But we have Americans who don't even have a passport trying to tell people about their lived experience. I mean, if that ain't the greatest form of ignorance, if that ain't the greatest form of ignorance there is, I don't know what is. I'm never going to tell somebody about something they lived through like I'm the one who lived through it. That's stupid. But Americans, we do that all the time. And that shows our entitlement. That shows how ignorant we can be. We live in probably the greatest country in the history of the world, but we still operate in some like an obscene level of ignorance towards the experience concerning the experience of other people. And we gotta stop that shit. Some people, families suffering and dying over there, and we telling them it ain't no big deal, you exaggerate. Nah, man, this is life. This is life we're talking about. It ain't shining shoes, bro. People are really dying. You know? But the reality is we really don't care. We only care enough. We only care if we can weaponize it against Trump. That's it. We only care if we can weaponize it against Donald Trump. You know? And Trump don't give a damn. You're not hurting him saying the shit you saying. Devaluing and minimizing someone's lived experience and their suffering. But let somebody tell us, hey, y'all need to get over slavery. We up in arms about it. We ready to fight. That's called hypocrisy. And I will never bend my knee to hypocrisy. I will never even engage. I hate hypocrisy so much because I know that it can take lives. I know it can take lives. I know it can cause you to die. I watched hypocrisy and lies take over my community. I watched hypocrisy and lies take over my community. And what do we have to show for it? Nothing but a bunch of dead bodies and dope fiends. That's it. That's it. All we got to show for it is a bunch of dead bodies and dope fiends. We didn't get nothing for it, but we engaged in it at an unprecedented level. Right? Hold on. We engaged in it at an unprecedented level. And it's sad that it had to be that way. But that's what happens when you have too many people in your community who are okay with just like accepting lies. It's a problem. But all I can do is make sure that I'm not a part of the problem. That's literally all I can do. And you guys should be happy that there are black men around who gonna stand up for what's right. But there's not enough of us. You see right now, it's a bunch of black men in the comments. Oh, Brandon, what about this? What about that? They don't give a damn about the people of Iran. They don't. They do not. They do not. They'll just lie and act like they do because they think they hurting Trump. You're not hurting Trump. I'm going to minimize somebody's lived experience because I'm mad at Trump. Hell no, I'll never do that. I'll never do that. No, Joshua North. That's exactly why I can't let America slide with the excuses you're giving to support America. I love this land, but the government is trying. Listen, and I love America too. And I don't think you should let America slide. It's your right as an American to criticize the government. But I'm not praising a government that's doing 10 times worse while I criticize my own. I'm going to criticize mine and I'm going to criticize my own. I made a video today criticizing Trump, criticizing the American government. Nobody cares about that because we only care about the things that offend us. I understand that. I'm not stupid. That's especially black folks. That's who we are. But also the white liberals who tell black folks what to do and control them. Right? Right? I know who we're controlled by because I can look at the behavior we exhibit. I did this today. I made this stream today. I made this stream today. Iran just made Trump look really stupid. Rejected negotiation talks. I know you saw it, Joshua, but I'm trying to show everybody I am not a person who's just kissing Trump's ass. I'm not. He's our president. I'm going to support him. Just like I supported Biden, because I don't like Biden, didn't vote for him. But at the end of the day, I pray, for all leaders of our country, because their decisions impact our lives. The Bible says, pray for your enemies. How much more should you pray for the people who are in charge of what happens to you in this country? Here's another one where I criticize Trump. Trump claims victory, but the strait is a death trap. Come on, guys. Don't come for me. Don't come for me. Here we go. Another one. Trump's stupid move. Come on, y'all. Stop. No one's kissing Trump's ass. I'm criticizing him, but I'm going to give credit where credit is due. Where I think Trump made a good decision, I'm going to give him credit for that. That's the way you're supposed to do. You keep on saying you can't defend him. Trump don't need me to defend him. He got 70 million people, 77 or 78 million people who voted for him. That's all the defense he needs. You go in the MAGA groups, they're like, this is exactly what I voted for. You think Trump's worried about you? His base is happy. The stupid merch hats. This is not my merch, dummy. This is from a place by my house. This is not, I don't make this hat and I don't sell it. It's a hat I really like. Shut your ass up. But I should start selling his merch because they look good. They look good, like a cheddar biscuit. You're just jealous. Don't be jealous. Don't be jealous. What the hell is going on? Okay. Don't be jealous. But I realize that I have like many people are new. So you guys just don't really know me that well. And that's cool. You know what I'm saying? That's cool. So I just be on some like, allow me to reintroduce myself, type shit. But y'all up late. It's 9:28. It's 9:28, yeah. But yeah, y'all don't know your boy. I done been around. Your boy done been around, man. That's one thing about me. I've been around. And I'm a strong-minded individual. And I don't let people, I make my own decisions based on what I believe are the facts through like research, though. Not just like, oh, I like the way this sounds, so now that's the facts. I don't do shit like that. I don't engage in stuff like that. So when you come to this channel, just know, like, bro is a straight shooter. He's gonna call it like he sees it based on the facts. So like the people who don't like me are people who they don't like facts. They like to move the goalpost around to fit whatever narrative or fit whatever that sounds best to them. These are the type of people who they kid is shooting up the neighborhood and dealing dope in the neighborhood, but they'll make every excuse for him. That's my baby. I'm not that person. My kid out there doing some bullshit, I'm gonna call the cops on him myself. Because I know I raised them better than that. And maybe they need to go sit down in the penitentiary for a while so they could understand that, shit ain't a game. Right? That's me. I'm that guy. I know I raised you better than that. I know I taught you better than that. So why are you out here acting a fool? But people don't understand that, because people are just hypocrites, a lot of them. But I just try my best to not be that way. But guys, everybody don't hold that. Everyone is not big on integrity. And I'm not saying I'm better than anybody or anything like that, but It's just the truth, man. A lot of people just have no integrity. And it's sad. It's real sad. It is very sad that it has to be that way. But if you keep watching this channel, you will get to know me. And you will learn about the things that I stand for and what I'm into, and you know where I land as a person. I'm very, you know, I'll be in an African village hooking little kids up, you know. I do all that. Oh, I care about the children. Nah, because you don't care about the 50,000 children who died. The men, women, and children who died. You know, you ain't really been in the field like that. You know, me, I've done too much for children to try to act like, oh, 127 is greater than 50,000. No, I feel like all life is precious. Nobody deserves to lose their life, whether it's the United States that take the life or Iran. You guys feel like as long as Iran takes the life, it's cool. But if the United States takes the life, that's a problem. This is my brother right here. This is my boy right here. He's here. Sorry.
Give me like a 3-second. You know, I can't let anybody see me cry, so I'm gonna let the song cry.
This is my boy. He's from Iran. He's my boy. We trained jiu-jitsu together for a long time. We just had coffee like a couple days ago. Oh shoot, that Jay-Z gonna get me demonetized. Hold on, let me see. Hold on. That's crazy. But this is my boy. We trained jiu-jitsu together for a very long time. And you know, he got married in Iraq, but he's from Iran. His dad is Iranian, his mom is Iranian, his dad is Iraqi. But you know, he was going back and forth to Iran and Iraq. You know what I'm saying? And you know, when him, my homegirl Monet, I got a couple people who I go to with the Iran situation. And what they say, I believe them. I believe them. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you can say what you want to say. I know people who've been on the ground, got family on the ground, et cetera, et cetera. And that's and they're the people I care about. So if they say our IRGC is bad, I'm rocking with what they say because I know they know what's going on. So why would I put what people who ain't never been there, don't even care about what's going on there? Why would I put what a bunch of people who don't even care about the place say over what people who are like, they're like family to me, you know? They're family, you know? We've been in the trenches together. Why would I put what randoms say over what they say? That would be stupid of me. But yeah. Just so y'all know, I'm not just a guy out here talking trash. You know. I've been around, I travel, I do all that. You know, and I think, and that's why I encourage people to like travel the world, because you get to see all the different perspectives. It's not, you hear about something going on in a place, and it's no longer just a place on a map, right? It's no longer just a place on a map. You realize there's people there. They have lives, they have dreams, hopes, things they want to pursue. So you won't say something so stupid like, oh, Iran killing 50,000 people don't even matter. It don't even matter. No, it does matter. It matters to me. Just like America killing 127 people matters to me. But yeah, that kind of pisses me off when people straight devalue people's lives because it doesn't fit their political narrative. You know? And I pray that Trump, you know, when he makes the decision, I hope bro understands, you know, the weight, the gravity, the impact of what he's doing, you know. Yeah, look, we talk about we talk about the apartheid situation in Sudan. Bro, I got family. Like, they're like my family in South Africa. People who lived through apartheid. This is me in South Africa at like one of my best friend's house. I went over there, went all the way to South Africa, bro. I'm gonna look, he's on me. Hey, he does not look at the whole family. This is our extended family out in Pretoria Township. Yeah. So when you come to America, I'm gonna look, he's on me. Hey, he is not. I got family everywhere. You're right. I got family everywhere. So if I talk about South Africa, because I've been up in South Africa. I've been chilling in South Africa with my fam bam. Right? Talking to the people. You know? I'm putting you on video because I want people to know that people thought that these were tight. Because when I went to buy them, people were like, "Don't buy those; they're not fresh." I was like, "These are fresh.
These are super fresh.
Right? They don't know about freshness." What's up?
Niggas are mainstream.
Niggas are mainstream. That's what I've been trying to tell them. I've been like, you open up your mind, man. Open up your mind.
This is a premium brand.
This is premium, dude. I try. Man, once you wear these, you can wear.
The States, watch out with the New Balance because in the States, it's what the Trump people wear.
The Trump
people
people
wear that shit.
Yeah.
Sorry, I gotta blow you up on that.
Hey,
Hey.
But I voted for. Hey, wait. But I did vote for Trump though. So that's why I'm wearing the New Balances. Look at his face. Oh my God. Excuse me.
Embarrassing being an American.
You're the most beautiful woman I've seen since I've been in Johannesburg. Wait, what's your name? Charlene, you are a sight. I just wanted to stop and say, look at her, everybody.
Look at her.
I'm dead. Fuck the shoes, man. Fuck the shoes. Guys, understand, man. We're just hanging out. I everywhere I go, I just be chilling. Y'all don't even know. Thirst. I wasn't thirsty. Why would I be thirsty? Why would I be thirsty? I'm never thirsty, dude. Oh, dude, I was with my people. You wanna know why? Mom's been hooked up the. So when I never come back, everyone will know why. Mom's been hooked up the barbecue, the bride. What do you call it? The bride. I'm a big baby. So Ricardo, he didn't help himself. You know, he ain't. Hey, Trump takes orders from his masters. Okay. I mean, what do you want me to do with that? Let me go and curse the president out because he takes orders from his masters. What president doesn't? I don't understand how. Okay, your gas is a little bit high. I really don't understand how this is hurting you. Your gas is a little bit high. My thing is like, don't like Trump, don't like what's going on, but don't pretend like you don't like it because people are getting hurt. That's all I'm saying. Because people getting killed in Ukraine every day. Russians getting killed in Ukraine. You don't give a damn about them. I just know we're Americans, and the majority of Americans just don't like stuff because it makes them temporarily uncomfortable. That's it. All facts. G Money, 100%. Integrity went out of style, B, 100%. Hypocrisy and dishonesty is what people value now. Hypocrisy and dishonesty is what people value now. That's it. But guys, let me get out of here. I gotta give my daughter something real quick before she goes to bed. So I'll holler at you guys tomorrow. And thank y'all for watching this, man. It was fun. It was fun. Till the next time. Oh yeah, most people are just chasing. Yeah, for sure. Agus, Odin Prism Omega. This is my Viking friend right here. He's living. Are you living in America, Agus, or are you living over in Norway or Denmark? I got friends from Norway and Denmark. My one of my best friends, Alexander Trans, he's from Denmark, and he's big. He's big Viking. And then my another even more so of a friend to him, my boy Tommy Longacher. He's a great friend of mine. That's my brother right there. He actually came and stayed with me for a couple of months when he came to America. Hey, my friend Tommy is actually a carpenter. He does roofing. So he makes a lot of money. Apparently, roofing is a very lucrative trade in Norway because when it snows, it's like crazy, and when it rains, it's crazy. So he makes money. And he specializes in like a certain type of roofing that they do over there. I don't know what it's called, but yeah, an Odin son himself. So yeah. So I know all about that. I remember we were on a plane and there was like thunder and lightning, and I'm like terrified. I'm like, what the hell's going on? He's like, no, that's Odin. He's like talking to us. He's like, he's sending us into battle. I'm like, yeah. We were headed to a jiu-jitsu tournament, and it was like we were on a plane, and it was like raining hard as hell. And I mean, like lightning, bro. You could see it like right by the plane. And he's like, no, chill. That's just Odin sending us into battle. I was like, bro, that was pretty awesome, but I'm still scared to death. You were born and raised in America. You got to go back to the motherland. So is my grandfather and my great-grandfather. You got to go back over there, man. Go back over there. They're going crazy over there. You got to get back over there and restore order. You know? But yeah. So thank y'all for watching this. I appreciate y'all being here. I'll see y'all tomorrow. I've been pretty consistent. Yeah, jiu-jitsu's cool. I like jiu-jitsu. I'm a black belt in it. Thank y'all for watching this. Till the next time, take care of yourselves. But most importantly, please take care of each other.